Unmuted.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
Shit,
Party.
yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, boy.
So,
Are you high?
No, I'm trying to finish up some
Uh,
carpentry over at the little house, and
I get high to do carpentry. I mean, not for any. I don't do carpentry.
I get high and think about all the carpentry I should be doing.
yeah.
That's all right, man. You got suspenders on and everything.
Oh yeah, man.
Fuck yeah, you take that shit serious.
Oh, yeah.
Does it have? You need to get those suspenders that have the tape measure on
Those are for decoration, Andy.
it.
Don't take your pants off so you can make a
I know.
measurement.
Holding
Yeah.
boards up to your chest.
Also, if you're a guy who wears those, they're a good conversation starter. But if you're a guy who wears those, you were looking way too hard for an opportunity. It seems like I've been running into those guys a little bit, not necessarily wearing those, but just fucking old guy. I think the old dudes are finally the last ones out of the pandemic, and they got a lot of shit to tell the checker. Like, when that shit is over, when your last item is rang and bagged, that's it. It's on both of those people to cut the shit. But some old dude who just won't let a conversation fall off completely, it's like he's raping my time. At that
Wait,
point.
like Andy, I think you're right. The social cue is when the receipt is handed over, that's end of conversation, so that you can start pushing your cart forward. And if they continue to chit chat, or God forbid, have to put away the checkbook or something like that, yeah, the social contract has gone completely out the window. It's fucked up.
I want to know more. I want to know where you were when this happened.
I just noticed it at the store the other day, and I'm still like, I'm all vaxxed. I'm not bragging. I'm current, doubled up, and I'm all fucking good, but I'm still keep my distance from people. So me standing a long ways away from chatty Chaille, I didn't know that. What day do you guys get your best fish? Shit like that. It's like, that she, this, I can tell you, if it ain't the black guy who talks show show tunes and reeks of cologne, or the guy with the fucked up
that
Elvis
seems really
hair.
Specific. Are you talking about specific people?
There's a guy. I think he was. I'm pretty sure he's in theater, but he uses a high voice, and I try to avoid him because he always comment. I don't mind him if it was just anywhere else, but he talks about likes my pants, and he's a chatty Cathy. He'll go on about, if I have I know he's from Georgia, so if I have on an Auburn shirt, he'll chat about that, so I kind of avoid him. And then there's this other guy who's been there for a long time, who he has like really fucked up, like it's like Trump hair, but it feels like it's permanent, like it's some sort of bad permanent
like a
back.
wig?
I heard it was like an Elvis hairdo put on backwards, but it's hard to explain this guy's fucking crazy hair, and he's real ugly. So it's not like vanity. It can't be. Should it be vanity? If you're real ugly, would you care how your hair presents enough to make it over the top goofy? But those are the only two checkers. And then there's another lady who likes to just fucking dawdle along and is too slow on processing. But I know.
Wait, so these are wait.
The workers.
I thought they were.
No, I thought they were customers.
Yeah.
No.
No, I mean, until just now.
Well, there's the guy. I mean, but so this guy's like, he's having these conversations like you might have with old Elvis. That's what I call him. Like if Elvis had lived and stayed on the drugs and he kept eating like he was eating, he might have ended up at Albertson's checker.
In Eugene.
Yeah. But
that's the thing right there, that you're just going to a store with too many old people working. You got to get some young, uninterested youth. They'll just check you out. They don't want to talk to you. You're old. They don't want to talk. You have nothing to say to them. They have nothing to say to you.
Let's go, Boomer. It's about volume. Keep it moving.
Right. I think we're a few months, I don't think we're quite there yet, but the disinterested youth is close. They're still like trying to, you know, fit into the corporate structure. But once those guys are training other guys, then it's over. It'll be like the AT or the T-Mobile store, like you know, choose the self-checker out of it's the only way to go at that point. Yeah, is that old Elvis?
That's like a computer generated 80-year-old Elvis.
Oh, really?
I think that's being
fuck.
kind. I
Yeah,
think it's being
that's
very
real
kind.
kind. Yeah, that's you know, that's giving him a few.
As if Elvis got his shit together.
Yeah, if instead of dying, he went healthy.
Hey, it wasn't Elvis's fault. It was that fucking Colonel.
Yeah, that's the new movie's take, right?
Yeah,
Colonel killed
yeah. It was all Tom Hanks.
I knew it.
Forrest Gump did him in.
Can we give these parts to other people?
No,
Yeah, I
It's
know. I
Colonel
know.
Parker.
no.
I know he's
Yeah.
Pinocchio. He's the guy who made Pinocchio in an animated. You shouldn't have two fucking movies going at the same time like Tom Hanks does. He's like if Gene Hackman had twins back in the day. He seems to be in everything.
Well, I think sometimes, Andy, it's just the, you know, setbacks on one movie, you know, end up making it premiere at the same time that another movie that got rushed through make it at the same time.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Teen
yeah.
Wolf, like Teen Wolf was filmed before Back to the Future, but they wait and then they waited on purpose.
Yeah,
sure.
that's what
And that
they.
Steven Spielberg
that when
project
they-
was going to be.
I think they still shit can movies, finished movies back then. They're like, oh no. I mean, a lot of garbage came out, but I think
I
they would
don't-
still chuck the occasional movie away.
I don't understand if they had hesitation about Teen Wolf. I don't understand why, because I don't understand how the end product of Teen Wolf could have been anything other than what you would have expected it to be if you had read the script of Teen Wolf. I think they did about as good a job of bringing that to life.
There's-
Well, I
they're
think
saying-
maybe if the buzz about Back to the Future being like predicting to be such a blockbuster, more people would go going, oh, Michael J. Fox is in Teen Wolf too. I'll go to that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think people saw it and they go, no, that fat kid's too big for varsity
He
basketball?
never
It
would have
doesn't-
made it.
Hey, I get the wolf part, you know, that's
Yeah.
just nature.
Uh-huh.
Well, when I watched Teen Wolf when I was maybe 11, I thought it was fantastic. So, you know,
Yeah.
they hit their target audience, I think. They made a Teen Wolf 2.
Wasn't it
Damn
just
right
a,
they did.
Wasn't it just-
I would wait until the Spielberg thing came out, or you know, the Back to the Future blockbuster, and then ride the coattails of that. Definitely. And I don't think Teen Wolf was that bad.
yeah. I forgot how he got to be a werewolf. Was it just like a
Family.
Family
hereditary?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because the dad was the one who.
Yeah, that's right. So nothing to be ashamed of. And it makes a good case for abortion. You couldn't make that movie now. People would be like,
there's no wolf exceptions to the abortion ban.
there's gonna,
Well, hold on, not yet though. They're pushing for a lot of these things.
In Texas, you got to give birth to that wolf. I can
I'm sure,
guarantee you that.
Yeah, no matter what.
I'm sure there's some state level Republican who believes that, you know, that's there's somehow a real fucking boy there in that wolf thing.
But I mean, was Teen Wolf, did he have a brother or a sister? I can't remember the movie.
I don't think so.
Because it would be like,
No.
was it like dwarfism? Like it doesn't hit everyone, so you take the chance.
Yeah.
I know,
No.
I'm pretty sure I know who the dad was in that.
Oh yeah.
He did a lot of dad stuff. He
Yeah.
was
I
like,
just looked him up the other day because he's a great character actor. And
Molly
he was in-
Ringwald's
He was
dad.
in Thunderbolt and Lightfoot with Jeff
Oh,
Bridges
yeah.
Wow.
and Clint Eastwood, and he ended up getting killed. Wait, no, that wasn't him. That was the guy from Every Which Way But Loose. Here, I'll look it up. Hold on.
It always
That was
reminded
great.
me of the Happy Days dad, but I know it's not
Yeah.
him. But he's
We
like the
strive
same
hard
kind
to
of,
we
character.
strive hard to be a fact-based
I think
podcast.
I think he's close. He's not the same guy, but he's close to the blonde guy, the blonde, tall, awkward guy from Animal House.
Yeah.
Yes, he looks like that.
Hoover. Yeah, yeah.
Hoover.
His name's James
Uh-huh.
James Hampton, and
Yeah.
you'll see. where did he? Oh fuck, where'd it go? Teen Wolf. There it is. There it is.
Yeah, that dude. That's who I pictured.
He looks more like a monkey than a wolf, eh?
He's like that Troy LeClure. Troy LeClure, is that his name?
Troy McClure.
Yeah, he's like that guy in reality. I mean, he could probably list hundreds of fucking projects he's been involved with, from industrial films to.
Hi, I'm James Hampton. You may remember me from Teen Wolf. Or
yeah,
today we're going to
measuring with your
electric
suspenders. The do-it-yourself guide.
Teen Wolf 2 in Acapulco.
He was a regular on Love American Style. You remember that show?
No, but yes.
It played all the time during afternoons. It was kind of a little bit randy, but not really. It was like kind of the swinger 70s, kind of like I don't
remember
know
the song.
Yeah, I don't know why it was always during the day. Just other than it was Lonely Housewives watch. That's probably it.
Yeah. It's when the when that second volume needed to be, or what did the ladies take back then? Mama's Little Helper.
Quaaludes?
Yeah, were they Quaaludes?
Sure.
Yeah.
It was the same ones Cosby just didn't tell him.
Quaaludes.
I thought Quaaludes. Yeah, okay. How was that?
Ludes,
Okay,
man.
yeah. Those, yeah. Who ruined Ludes? Those were I never got to try them.
They don't make Quaaludes anymore, I heard.
I know. Well, Cosby's got the last.
I'm
bit
sure
of
they
them.
make them.
Yeah. Cosby's estate sale, they'll probably kick them loose.
I think I read too. It's not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's all fentanyl rainbow candy. You guys heard about that? Watch out for that in your Halloween candy, kids.
Yeah.
You hear that story?
No, is that a
So-
hype?
So the DEA put out a story a couple of weeks ago about fentanyl rainbow pills, rainbow colors that are all the rage, and it's completely made up, but they did it so that they could get more funding, and it worked immediately. Chuck Schumer said, let's give them $190 billion to battle this fucking scourge of the fentanyl rainbow candy. And everywhere on right-wing media, it's all, check your kids' candy for fentanyl. Like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, just like check your apples for razor blades and pins, whereas there's never ever been a report of that
Never happened.
happening.
You're gonna need like a guinea pig at home to if they drop a syringe in there, you're gonna want to put a little on the guinea pig to find out. Don't throw the syringe away. It might be good. But,
as far as it goes with the razor blades and an apple, like, first of all, what a terrible plan, because what kid is going to eat an apple out of his Halloween candy? If you get a bucket of Halloween candy and there's an apple in there, that goes in the garbage. Whether
You
there's a
throw it at
razor,
somebody's
at the
house
next
on the
house.
way home. Yeah.
Yeah, you can hook it at something.
Yeah.
Probably the guy who gave you the apple.
yeah,
So
you get your razor back when it comes through your picture window.
Yeah.
hey, Quaaludes were discontinued. Well, they stopped making them in the United States in '85, and it was because of addictiveness and some psychological issues and stuff. But they're still manufactured in Mexico.
Oh
Let's go
man.
get some.
Panama West.
Wouldn't that be south?
South,
Well,
yeah.
Andy
I
doesn't
mean,
follow directions.
to
You know
nitpick.
that.
Yeah.
It might be easier to get into Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. The fuck, man. Yeah. I called them this morning. We're talking about Panama. I called this morning and I actually got an employee and asked about the roads coming in. It's all through Ridgecrest. Is that right?
Yeah, you got to go through Ridgecrest.
Yeah, that's the only
You got to
road.
come up through the south. If you're coming to join us at Panamint Springs in early November, then you have to come in through California on Highway 178 up through Ridgecrest. It's the only way in and out of Panamint, which will mean also that there will be somehow even fewer cars on the highway.
Yeah,
Possibly run us over.
that's
when
what I
we're
thought
laying
of.
on the- yeah.
Like it gives us plenty of. I don't know how he makes it out there, but it gives us plenty of time to get Cooter off the road.
Well, this road right here, that's 190. So
Right.
that is blocked. So that road right there goes forever.
Yeah.
And either in both directions, it's blocked going into Panamint. So
Right.
See, here's my thing. When we say, hey, let's go to Panamint, and I picture that's what I picture right there, Chaille. That's like almost my worst part is going through Phoenix, but other than that, it's pretty much that, and I love it. Whenever you say let's go to Panamint and it have to go through California first, my butthole puckers the same way as it would if you tried to push me off a cliff, man. Come on, let's go. Fuck, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm having a rough time with it already.
Well,
we'll talk later. We'll talk about that off air and try to figure out what to do.
We need to find well, you don't have to be an alcoholic, but it would help. But find one of them them guys who flies people over Hoover. Hey, look, man, I know you're not doing much business. We're going to need a chopper in and out to Panamint. You know, I don't know what it costs to go to Hoover. Like they go from just a not far away from Hoover and they fly over the thing.
So helicopters that crash all the time. Yeah, what about
talking about a helicopter ride in? You're talking about using the people
instead of saying we don't want to see your dried up fucking lake, motherfucker. we're hip. We just want to be dropped off a little bit past that. It's not far for a helicopter.
Bit past Hoover Dam.
Quite a ways away.
Yeah.
Right over there.
Also, I don't know, that's a road, not a landing strip, Andy.
Yeah.
Damn, I guess a helicopter can land anywhere, but I don't think you're supposed to.
Yeah,
it's a national park. You just can't drop a fucking whirligig down anytime you want.
Right.
I like the helicopter idea better than the trying to drive. Also, then the roads to get in, once you get in, it says you got to go back roads to Panamint, like through Darwin and stuff. Yep. Is that rough roads or is that
no? Look, we'll talk about this off air. Let's just talk about it off air. But the road from 178 up to 190 is open. So you take that all the way up to 190. You turn left at the bottom of that valley right behind Chaille's head. And it's about 3 miles up to Panamint Springs from there. That's the way in and out. That's it.
Easy.
You don't think so?
No, that is, they're right. There's just, I hate going to the middle of nowhere with one fucking way in and out. It bothers me.
I hope we get trapped there.
What about UFOs, man?
I'll run out of weed quick and then I'll be fucked.
We wouldn't, if we got there, we would not, that wouldn't be a thing. But, you know, yeah, I mean, that's why I posted that picture of that guy from Pet Cemetery. It's like only one, you don't want to go on them back roads up there.
I didn't know what that picture was.
Yeah, that's that dude.
It's Fred Gwynn.
They spoof him on South Park all the time.
From Car 54, Where Are You?
Yeah, nobody goes up.
Wait, your Fred Gwynn go-to is Car 54, Where Are You? And not the Munsters?
No, man, he hated that role.
Come on, dude. You can't tell people who Fred Gwynn is by saying Car. How old do you think our audience is?
Man,
I hope they're at least as old as me.
I can see him.
Remember him from the talkies.
I can see him being resentful about the makeup chair, but Herman Munster was pure joy. How could he have hated? You know, it's like if Tom Hanks said, "I hated playing that retard Gump."
I think Herman Munster is way more beloved than Gump.
Oh well, how long was? I mean, there wasn't a lot of options back in the day, and you were either with the Addams family or you were with the Munsters.
Well, let's just go down that road. Definitely Addams family, and definitely Gomez Addams. John Astin as Gomez Addams is by far a better character than Fred Gwynn's.
You're younger than me. You're looking at it for Carolyn Jones, Morticia.
Yeah. Well, Morticia was hot.
Morticia was sexy.
John Astin was fucking hilarious in that.
Yes.
Show.
Yeah.
And you can like his style of comedy, like Fred Gwynn's Herman Munster was just like stompity stomp. Like that's funny, but John Astin was like a manic fucking bipolar maniac
Dude,
and
yeah.
like a genius. He was it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Still one of my favorite people ever, for sure.
I don't
Addams
even
family all the way.
I don't even remember Mrs. Munster. So that's
She
kind of
was
she was a throw.
that was Carolyn Jones.
No, that was Morticia.
That was Morticia.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, it was Yvonne
Yeah.
DiCarlo.
Yvonne
Yeah,
DiCarlo.
yeah. Who did other things too, because she could, because of the makeup and the hair and stuff. She
Mrs.
wasn't
Addams was
typecast.
pretty sexy, but they were amorous couple. So
Yeah.
it brought out her.
Well, she spoke French. What could you do?
She's a goth whore.
Yeah, it made John Aston crazy.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was a way better show. Did they have a big difference in time? They
I think it
were
was
on
pretty
like,
much the same time, wasn't it?
yeah. Yeah, it was like
I think
one.
Addams Family was earlier. Addams Family was based on a cartoon.
And I think they met the Globetrotters.
So you know,
Scooby-Doo.
I'm sure you've all been hit with all of the Rob Zombie redoing the Munsters. You've seen
Yeah.
those? Yeah. Well, they're also Tim Burton is redoing the Addams Family. Here's it's Wednesday is the
Yeah,
basis
that's right.
for it. Sorry, I got Morticia cut off there, but you recognize this guy.
Oh yeah.
Is it Luis Gomez or
Yeah.
something
He's
like
in a
that?
ton of
He's a
stuff,
character
too.
actor that's
Yeah.
Wasn't he in I think he was in Homicide: Life on the Street, one of the greatest television shows of all time. I think he was the guy in that. I get some of those guys mixed up sometimes.
Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia.
Wow. Good work.
Yeah. She's the one that gave Michael Douglas cancer. Right?
Yep.
Eating
Yeah, her
that
pussy was too delicious.
Yeah.
It practically killed
Boys.
a man.
Her lips are venomous poison. The song goes.
Yeah.
They
They
can't
should
still be
have-
together, right?
They missed an opportunity though. It really could have been Christina Ricci, or how do you say her name? Ricci? Christina Ricci.
Yeah, Ricci. No.
Didn't she play Wednesday?
She played Wednesday but she's too old because this is a
No, but
this
that she
is-
could have been Morticia this time.
Oh,
But
Yeah,
Morticia.
but they want a hot chick.
yeah.
I think Christina Ricci's kind of hot.
Uh-huh.
Not?
Well,
Yeah,
no,
but
let's
not
see what she
Catherine
looks like now.
Zeta-Jones hot.
Well, that's true. You're right about that.
Bring back
Oh, but she
Elvira.
looks kind of like the Joker right there.
She does got that Joker smile, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Oh man, they could have used her. Here, hold on, guys.
Uh-oh. What's Chaille bringing up? She's portly. Is that what you're telling us?
No, I'm for real. She looks great.
See, look at
What?
that.
That's her?
Yeah.
Bring it.
Fuck, she could have used. They could have
She's
used
on
her.
that show everybody loves now called Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this is
on
from
the-
Yellow Jackets.
Wow.
And everybody's into her. Yeah, see? Woo.
Uh-huh. The tide
But-
turns.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, you're not going to get any complaints on that. That's
That's a marquee name, right?
yeah.
She'd be in my next Golden Girls cast.
You
in your
casting
top
for the
five?
Golden Girls now?
Yeah.
That
No,
actually-
I started. I think what's that show? Well, I watched Heroes, and that guy talked about the Golden Girls, or somebody talked about the Golden Girls in there. I got through up to season 3, episode 1, that everybody was horrified by.
The boys.
The boys, yeah,
Oh, the
Yeah.
boy.
the one
I
we
wasn't
months ago.
horrified. It was just
Yeah, no, it was a
like,
good. It was
wow.
cool. It reminded me of that Campbell show, fucking Bruce Campbell show that was just on. What as far as gross, like they had a, he had a fight with a demon in a fucking sperm bank. On, I forget that show.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that
Ash,
is a good
Ash versus
Oh, yeah.
Evil Dead.
yeah, the
Ash
Evil
versus
Dead.
Evil.
The fucking the fight in the sperm
Those are
bank. It's
movies.
like,
Not a show. It's not a
No,
show.
there's a show.
No, there was
There
a
is?
show.
A
Yeah,
new
yeah.
one that came out a few years back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
See, I did not know
Yeah.
this.
I think
Yeah.
it's called Ash versus Evil. I think. Andy
Yeah,
shared.
Ash
Oh,
versus
all right.
Evil. Yeah, and yeah, it had some of that
No one has to recommend that. I'm already
comedy gore that and
I
Ash
like
man,
versus
it.
Evil Dead.
yeah,
Is it?
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell's the best, man.
he's the best. He's got a place in Oregon.
Yeah?
We could show up there.
Yeah, let's
Crash
go
out
there.
at his. Let's go.
Is there more than one way in and out of that?
I don't know.
that
It
place?
was in the
Bruce
fire. It
Campbell's
was in a
house?
big fire zone a couple years ago, but I think it's
Yeah.
good right now. Yeah, the fucking the universe is shifting on us.
Who would the current, if we were gonna recast the Golden Girls? Who would be in it? Who would we cast?
Kathy Griffin is Rue
No, no, no.
That would be like
no.
that'd be the
no.
one the network would push for, and then it'd
No,
be,
I think
this
we
is
gotta
death.
have, I'm into old ladies, so I can like definitely, I would have, you'd have Martha Stewart would be one of them, because she's still pretty hot.
She's a
But
fucking.
she's like 75 years old and
She's
still
what I don't know that the phrase "thirst trap" was about her, but she's one who
Man.
lays them out.
He's still doing it, man.
Uh-huh. Yeah, she made me aware. She brought more awareness to thirst traps than any other American.
Are
Yeah.
you talking about Martha Stewart?
Yeah, we're casting the current, we're gonna recast Golden Girls for a reboot.
And he wants Martha Stewart, and she
I
could
think
only be
Martha Stewart
Rue.
would be one of them.
She could only be the sexy one, Rue.
Yeah, it'd be
Right.
Rue, but so let me write this down. Rue would be
Well,
Martha.
I mean, look, it's a reboot, so they're all gonna be kind of hot. You know how like things get rebooted. like-
Oh, fuck, what's her name?
Can't make the old
This is
lady
gonna-
hot.
This is gonna sound horrible.
What do you mean you
but-
can't make? We want viewers, Chaille,
Yeah,
Make
but
them
you
all
need
hot.
someone peppy and snappy.
and hot.
I'm this is gonna sound bad because I'm not good at remembering names, but with a fat lesbian from the baseball show with Madonna. God damn it.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell?
O'Donnell could be B. Arthur.
Rosie O'Donnell. No, no.
I
The
didn't-
B. Arthur character.
And I
would
body
be,
shame. I didn't
no,
mean to
the-
body shame and sexual. I just couldn't remember her name, and that's how you describe.
No,
Damn it.
no.
B.
the
Arthur was pretty. She was sexy in that show she was on. Wasn't she in Rhoda? She's
Odd.
kind of
Maud.
yeah. I was into old broads for a while. Probably because I wanked off watching Love Boat. But
Betty White is good looking too. That's a good looking lady back there. Look at her. That's a
and
good
probably
looking woman.
we're probably older right now than the oldest of them was when they started the show.
I think
Because
that's
wasn't she
true.
in a wig and shit? She was.
Yeah.
I did wonder about like the slutty one was the least attractive one when I was a kid. I was like, that's kind of a weird choice. Like the slutty,
Yeah.
like she's
I think she was also a little. She seemed a little too hoity-toity. Like she wouldn't do the dirty things.
Rue McClanahan?
Yeah.
Oh no,
But I mean, she talked
was
it. She talked
nasty.
it.
No, I think she put out. I think she definitely
yeah?
put out. Yeah.
she
Yeah,
did
that's-
anal.
That's the vibe I got. Yeah.
Rosie'd be tough to cast. Maybe she
Not
would.
Rosie.
Uh,
No.
That's Rosie today.
No
You just-
way.
you just do.
You sure that's Rosie and not the kid from Show Me the Money?
Oh, is that
Oh,
Rosie?
You can be the
I thought you were
landlord.
going to
dude.
say Harry Potter.
Try to get the rent.
We're going to need the GOP to win this next election and continue with this.
I would have Martha Stewart, and for B. Arthur's character, I would have the what's the tall lady who was in all of those Christopher Guest movies? Jane Lynch.
Oh,
Oh,
Jane
yeah.
Lynch.
Oh,
Yeah, she'd be great in the
yes.
mod part.
Jane Lynch as
Yes.
in the Maud role.
All right, I'm with you. So
Maud. Maud was the ultimate. She had like if you had all her clothes from that show, that would be quite.
She had a lot of loose fitting.
Clothing. She was responsible for kind of like women at that time would make macrame vest or like a poncho type fucking macrame shit. Like Maud was fucking up shit for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
A fashion icon.
Yeah, there you go. Jane Lynch.
That'd be good.
Pull up a picture of Martha Stewart so we can all see how hot she is at 80 years
Yeah.
old.
And it didn't
She
Snoop
80?
Dogg.
Damn near 80, dude.
Mhm.
And she looks good. She's had some work done, but it's like it didn't fuck her up the way it fucked up a lot of people when they get work done, you know, like
Probably did it strategically, right?
she got the right people and
Mhm.
she did it right.
Yeah. Bring a team together when it's already too late. Like he's like the Dallas Cowboy owners. I think with Jerry Jones, his face, I bet he's probably done like a dozen surgeries. But if he'd have just waited, he's ugly. And if he'd have just waited till it got to a point where people couldn't even fucking be in a room with him, he's so ugly. Then get it all done at once, and they can maybe like, well, look what they did with $6 million in Steve Austin. 6 million, and they fucking made that dude a monster. Or
Yeah,
not
he can run 60 miles an hour. Look
That
at Martha Stewart, right?
That definitely has a filter on it though, because look at how fucking there's no way they're that
That's
smooth.
probably true, but she still looks pretty fucking good.
Well, yeah, she's millionaire with
there's millionaires. Yeah, throw up a picture of Melanie Griffith right now next to that Martha.
Yeah,
Stewart.
well,
Let's see
throw up if there was a identical looking woman at all ages or at early ages of their life, and then show what trailer park Martha Stewart looks like. Is that I'm sure that living well and skin cream, shit like that. Of course,
good doctors. Yeah,
you can't be
trailer park Martha Stewart.
Yeah, that bitch went to prison, man. She's legit.
Yeah, man. That's probably opened her up sexually to a lot of stuff.
I'd like to hope so.
I like that. It's one of the funny. I find it offensive, but the queefing episode of South Park, but they have an advertisement of Martha Stewart decorating her queefs, putting in glitter paper and decorating them. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, actually it is.
Yeah, I know. I'd like to see the real Martha Stewart queefing out glitter. Fuck yes. I would join up for her fans only for long enough to see that.
Oh shit. All right. Well, we cast two of the girls.
Well, you still got Rose and Sophia.
Oh, so
Rose is the Betty White part.
I love Carol Burnett in
no,
but
she's very funny, but
she wouldn't be on set long. She's an old woman, and we want this to be. We want 5 years out of this.
Yeah, it's gonna run for a while.
So then, what about the Estelle Getty part, the Sophia?
Oh man,
the old one.
That's a tough one too.
Who they made look way older.
Whoopi Goldberg, I love it.
Yes.
The elephant in the room.
No, that's Chad. That's actually a perfect idea because you do Whoopi Goldberg as either one of those roles, and then you get the buzz of the. I can't believe they're recasting a fictional white character with a black actor or actress.
Oh yeah.
And then you get that media buzz around the show for weeks. That's a smart move.
So, but I think Rose, which is the Betty White character, has to be someone more aloof, whereas Whoopi is perfect in like the acerbic older lady. I mean, they could make her look older.
Yeah.
You can't get them all off.
You need a ditzy one. You need a ditzy one for the Rose. For Rose, who would? How about Suzanne Summers?
I think she's still around.
Wow, I wonder what she looks like. How about Lindsay Wagner? No, she's too
Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan. What are you just using L words?
No.
Have you seen her lately?
The Golden Girls and their granddaughter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's done enough cocaine and meth to look like she's that age, but
who's I gonna look up?
Suzanne Summers.
Suzanne Summers.
She could be constantly pushing the thigh buster or whatever it was, thigh master on
And she
Part of
must
a
have married.
running gag on the show.
Or go the other way and get Sally Struthers.
She's dead, probably.
If she's still alive,
Is
then
she?
she must have married into money because she went from. I mean, she had the Three's Company money, but then she was doing the Thigh
She
Master.
made a lot of money on the Thigh
Yeah,
Master
yeah.
show,
Maybe
don't
she
kid
just made
yourself.
bank
Probably
on
still
Thigh
making
Master
money
and
on it.
married some fucking schlub. I was here, you don't need money. I got Thigh Master money, dude.
There it
I think,
is.
yeah,
Look at
I
her.
think
She
that
looks
would
all
work.
right.
That would work as the Betty White character.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. She probably lived.
Wait, who did we do as the slutty one? I forget.
Martha
Jane
Stewart.
Lynch.
Oh,
But Martha Stewart can't act, man.
Oh no, yeah.
We'll have to have her run some. We'll run
Erickson
some
just
screen.
wants to see her act slutty.
Well, yeah,
I do. I
we'll-
do.
we'll set her by
I can
a
tell.
pool with a glass of iced tea after she gets out of the pool.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm into it.
I mean, Suzanne Summers at this age doesn't look like she's living with 3 other women, unless she's lesbian.
No,
I-
but she
She
I
looks
just
like
think
she
she
could get
looks
a man.
ditzy enough, right? Maybe
She-
she
yeah.
didn't.
Oh, what that girl, lady from
Was it
White
one of them
Lotus.
there to take care of her mother? Wasn't it that one?
That
No,
was
that
the
was
mo-
the other
the-
one, huh?
That was
Dorothy
Martha.
was Dorothy's
Yeah.
mom is Sophia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
So yeah, so Jane Lynch, her character is there to take care of her mother, Whoopi Goldberg. Perfect sense.
Perfect.
God damn it! There's a dude. There was a fucking hole in there somewhere.
The network's
I'd
kinda-
say go with it.
The
This
network's
It
a
just
little
gives you that
hesitant to
much
go
more
with.
controversy.
Okay, we got some notes
Wait,
from the
we-
network.
yeah.
No, this is an elevator pitch that would get you into a meeting. I can guarantee it.
And we didn't even go with Rosie, who's just waiting for another
I
opportunity.
don't know why you keep going back to Rosie.
Yeah, she's a
O'Donnell.
problem.
No,
on
Rose.
set
I
to
meant
begin with.
Roseanne.
Oh,
Roseanne.
Oh, sorry.
No,
If you're gonna bring back Rosie O'Donnell, I was like, all right, you
that's-
can make her the dad of Jane Lynch in
Yeah.
one episode. She
Yeah,
could be a guest
absolutely.
star.
I feel like Rosie O'Donnell might have a likability gap there.
Roseanne Barr actually would be good as the Sophia character.
No one's touching her in a
If-
series after her
if you-
meltdown.
Ah,
Yeah.
Roseanne?
don't even give her lines. Just let her just be batshit crazy on each episode, and the other people have to act off of it.
Oh, see, now, as good of an idea as it is from a marketing standpoint to cast a black actor in Whoopi Goldberg as Sophia, it's an even better idea to cast Roseanne Barr because she's got the whole coming back from being canceled thing, and the whole all of the right, the conservative right will support the show just because they'll own the libs by bringing Roseanne back on this show.
And her daughter can always be like, "Mom, you can't just be ranting about the Jews at the pool."
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's just Roseanne thinks
But I
it's a
think
reality
we'll see.
show.
Yeah, don't tell her it's the Golden Girls. Just tell her it's real.
We're losing our black angle, so I think we should double down on it. We move Martha Stewart over to the Betty White. We bump who did we have? I don't even
Suzanne
remember now.
Summers.
Yeah, we bump Suzanne Summers and move Martha Stewart to that one, and then we get a young, hot black chick that makes no sense to be the slutty one, so that we cover all of our bases for pandering.
Yeah. Well, we need an Asian guy to help maintain the apartment. Like,
Handyman,
what was that one? Yeah, that show that had the handyman.
hot sing.
Not Hops. Hopsink
No.
only did.
Hop Sing was Bonanza, and he was a
Hop-
cook. in
Now
the-
you
Hop Sink
guys are
only
doing
cooked.
We're
Argus
talking about
Hamilton.
Schneider on One Day at a Time.
He only, yeah. Hopsink only cooked and he did laundry on Wednesdays.
Not,
We've
and
been
Andy,
through this.
not hop sink. It's not like a sink.
Oh.
That's where he did laundry
In the hop sink.
in the hot sink, and then he.
Well,
yeah.
it got to be hot if you're gonna do your laundry.
But yeah, it wasn't all fun and games on the set of Little House on the Prairie. There was some squabbling.
Wait, how did you get to Little House?
Or I mean, not Little House. Fucking
Oh.
Bonanza?
Bonanza. Yeah, Adam wanted to be a more serious actor, and he didn't care for all the stupidness of the show and
Who's
left
the one that
early.
wore all black?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then Dad Burnett Haas died while they were still filming. So they had to, that's why it got really shitty. They had like they brought in a ginger kid. I forget his name, but they brought in an ugly Dana Bonaducci teenager looking. I think his name was Candy, or no, Candy was another dude, but they brought in this ugly ginger and adopted him, and it kind of ruined the show. But that was after Haas
On
died.
Bonanza?
Yeah.
I don't recall that, Andy.
Michael Landon was just desperate. I mean, you know, he kept it going, but
Mitch Vogel.
Yeah, after Haas died, they should have just called her good, but they brought in you never bring in a ginger. Late, you know.
We're gonna get letters.
I'm writing that down, by the way. That seems like good advice.
Well,
Never bring
Bonaducci was original to the family. They didn't bring him in the third season. So it's like, it's, you know, it's awkward enough, but you can accept it. But if you got to stare at it,
only the Brady Bunch was able to bring in a ginger and have it not.
I think he was more of a blonde.
He's more of a blonde. You're right.
Robbie,
you're right.
Robbie
he was blonde
Richards.
enough that he.
I had a mind fucking I mean, not that big a one, but I was sitting there and I scrolling my phone, and Marsha McCormick, my friend Marsha from the Brady Bunch, posted 53 years ago, in 1989, the Brady Bunch was released. I'm like, really? 89? That fucking seems obvious. I think she meant 69. She fucked it up. The typo on the 89.
And you said Marsha McCormick? You mean
Maureen McCormick.
Andy lives in a different universe than the rest of us. He pops in and out. Names change.
Yeah.
Wait, but 50 years ago, she said
53 years, whatever it was, 53 years. But she said she put 89, but it was.
Oh, that's right, a typo.
Yeah.
Because 53 is right. That's right.
Yeah.
It was 50 years ago.
Man, that's
so. What about that? Let's just do that. Let's just do the new Golden Girls as the three Bradys with Florence as the mom. How does that work out? What are those? What are those look like now?
Oh yeah,
that'd be a fun show.
Yeah, they should do that. Bring in a beloved cast from one show, and then bring the Brady Bunch in, and then they're all working at a hospital and they're not related.
Saint elsewhere.
I've heard that people get paid for shows that are never made. I feel like you should get some money for that one. That's a good one. I think that's
it. Put the Brady Bunch on an island and don't let them off.
Yeah, I think the youngest Brady girl was kind of fucked up. Cindy Olsen?
Susan Olsen.
Susan Olsen.
Dummy.
Cindy Brady. Susan
did the same thing that Andy did with his fictional first name.
Fuck.
Yeah. She had a little.
I think she was kind of fucked up though.
I identified most with Cindy because I had a lisp, a dolly, and a lot of brothers. Mrs. Whatever. She had a
Kitty Carryall.
Kitty Carryall, yeah. And I had Drowsy. And I think for my money, I think Drowsy was a little sweeter. I never had a Kitty Carryall, but it's just, you know, seemed like, you know.
Yeah, Downsy was cute. I mean, Drowsy.
Yeah, not Downsy. Can't say that about my baby dolly. She probably was. I mean, you know, if she come out of
his own short bus.
If she came out of the package normal when I threw her over the embankment and she, you know, she didn't make it down that hill. She just rotted into that hill and maybe was excavated out with the city did some work there at some point. So maybe, but I think if Drowsy did make it out, she would be a little fucked up, you know, lack of food, maybe her oxygen, maybe she hit her head on the way down. Downsy's probably a good description. And if I would have kept her, if my brothers hadn't shamed me into getting rid of her, I probably would have set her on fire a few years later.
There was going to be no positive outcome for Drowsy. Drowsy was going to meet a terrible end. It's probably just as well for her that you chucked her over the embankment.
She was my Woody. You know, like not Buzz Lightyear.
Toy Story. Yeah.
Not my penis.
So what do the Chaille, what do the Brady girls look like now? I've seen Maureen McCormick around. I know
Maureen McCormick looks pretty much like you'd expect.
She looks the same. She looks like she should look at She's
Well,
she's
I
a
think-
person who I think she went with her look. She didn't try to get a lot of work done. She looks pretty much like she looks.
Here's Susan Olsen now. And I think that might be a little old because she was on a radio station and she got
right.
fired because she went off on a guy that was gay and she got I think it was
man.
kind
Oh,
of
she's
homophobic
like
or
a
whatever.
Trump supporter.
I
That's
don't
even better.
Yeah, she was on a radio show called Two Chicks Talking Politics.
Oh
man,
man,
that's
that's
funny.
even better. Good. This
Uh-huh.
show is gonna work. The new
Yeah.
Golden Girls with the Brady.
Yes. Yes.
Oh man, yeah. That's it. Well, I never had any context that she wasn't a dingbat, but Victoria Jackson.
Oh no,
Who-
she's a dingbat.
But
Dude.
back when I
Oh.
met her, she was a dingbat, leaning into her weirdness, but the weirdness got worse.
Yeah.
And she probably stayed the same. It's equally weird, and but I just can't imagine a political edge on either side of Cindy Brady. But fucking that's
Well,
why
I think it's always funny when somebody gets like really right wing. When you find out, like when we found out that Rob Schneider was like a right wing nut too, like like really, like Rob Schneider, like
yeah,
why would anyone care? But,
Yeah,
all right.
That's Eve Plum.
Oosh, yeah, there you go. There's
Jan.
your.
Yeah. Jan. I think Bobby was the for my money as a kid, he was the ugliest of them. He had really fucked up teeth. They probably didn't want to get him fixed during the show or whatever, but he had like a couple of side teeth, I think.
A little bit like a Teen Wolf, maybe.
Maybe. It's a shame for those guys that I bet
It
201 that they probably wish they wanted more work after the Brady years, and I don't think like Pete Brady bounced back on TV in a reality show years later, but I don't think
No,
they were
None of
behind.
that. I mean, Ggreg Brady probably had the most success of any of them, right?
But you know what it probably was is that show stunk. Without a laugh track, it would have just been would have been really painful. The laugh track made you think
But
it was funny, but there was no good. None of them were asked to do much acting.
It was our Full House for the kids after us. Full House was the show that the Brady Bunch filled.
It's
for
just for
us.
kids.
It's for kids, right? You see other kids doing shit, and you're like, "Oh, kids are doing shit. Perfect. I'll watch this."
Yeah, look at
Oh,
Marsha.
look, Marsha looks good.
Or Maureen McCormick. I think it's a little older.
Her
but
neck's
yeah.
a little bit thin.
Ooh.
Got a bit of a pencil neck
I
there.
think she
went-
got some work done too. 'cause
Going
there's-
for the Barbie look, literally. That looks
There's
like
some
you can
interim
swivel that
pictures.
head.
Well,
that
she
aren't as
I
smooth.
think she was like a pop or country singer for a minute, so maybe she
Really?
got. I think so.
You
I'll
know,
have to check
fried.
my. I probably.
He's got chicken fried. That's chicken fried Marsha right there.
I like. They did so
Turkey
many
neck, Marsha.
reunion shows and shit. Like I watched a lot of that shit with the Brady's. They had a big one where I think a bunch of them got married.
Yeah. Well, the
Barry
two
Brady
girls,
Christmas.
they had a spin-off show for a while where
Oh,
Eve Plum and Maureen McCormick had a show where they were married, and they had, it was them and their husbands. It was like the four of them. It was supposed to be it didn't work, but it was a sitcom. It was a thing.
I wanted to see Mike Brady after hours. Gets in the station wagon, puts in some jazz, meets a guy on a corner.
takes out that big architect tube and just dumps a bunch of dildos out of
That was a guy.
I knew there weren't plans in here.
Yeah, I don't think
I had
that guy-
Greg bring me this on his bike.
I don't think that guy dug his role as Mike Brady.
Well, he was the most talented of anybody
Yeah.
on the show for sure.
Well-
He was a really good actor and classically trained.
Ann B. Davis had goddamn timing, though. She was the only funny part on that show.
My granddaughter just went
All
through
right.
and watched all of that show. And I will say the one weird thing that I did pick up on is, and I guess maybe it was a style at the time, although I can't comprehend it, is that they had Cindy in a dress that barely covered her ass almost every shot, like weird, like what you would call baby doll pajamas now, like lingerie is what she wore almost. And I was like, that was a fucking style to dress little tiny girls like a fucking.
That was an era they didn't acknowledge pedophilia.
Bizarre.
Yeah, that's interesting, Chad. Andy, you're right, because we've talked about this before. That was back when pedophilia wasn't even a thing people thought was real. Like it was just like, oh, there's just, this guy's just creepy. He's a creepy uncle. He just does creepy uncle stuff. And it was like you sexualized children and no one was bothered by it. Now we see it, but I've never thought about that.
Wait, Davy Jones wants to take Marcia to the prom? Oh, hell no. There's a lot of red flags there. The kids were in a cave with Vincent Price. You boys, did he touch you anywhere? No, he just, it was about the idol. No, this doesn't, yeah. Cindy was dressed up like a baby doll for perverts.
But I'm trying to get this picture so you can see it because it's small. I'll get to it. But even Florence Henderson was wearing pretty short dresses too. They were definitely above the knee.
It was the early 70s. So, late 60s, early 70s. It was short skirt. That was the thing, so that might be part of it. But it is true that, you sexualize children in a way back then that no one saw as problematic, but clearly was problematic and catered to a group of people who were probably
right. Well, and also the behind the scenes in a
different way.
Come here, sweetheart, sit on the producer's lap. Kind of shit.
Yeah. And then they all looked at fucking Mr. Brady like he was the freak because he's fucking hanging out with a dude.
There's a fair number of there's like young actresses or actors dying or being drug fiends. Of course, Willis from Different Strokes.
Willis is the only one still alive, but the rest
Dana,
of them
the girl from
Dana
that was on. Yeah, it's like why would everybody, or why would so many of them spin out and become drug fiends when they had a childhood where they were on set getting private tutored and making money, but then it goes shitty, like the parents are ripping them off. They don't really make as much as they think they're making, and they completely do corny, stupid shit on the show that makes them unusable for anything else. I don't know. Why wasn't fucking what you talking about? Why didn't that guy have a film career? He should have been
who are you talking about? Look at that picture right there, Chad. You're totally right. Look at that.
And it's all the time, because once I noticed it, like just in passing, I was like, wait, that's fucking kind of weird. And then I would notice it, like, that's bizarre as shit.
Wow, yeah.
To be cut that high.
Yeah, you can see your underwear.
It's just cut that high to begin with.
Yeah,
and look at even Ma is
Ma,
rocking certainly above the knee.
If Ma had testicles, they'd be showing. She had testicles. Those bedroom scenes between her and Mike would have been a lot saucier.
Well, he'd have been a lot
probably not.
Yeah.
He'd have been very excited.
Yeah. That was
that's weird, man.
You can see underwear there.
Yeah,
that's probably there was people who tuned in for
sure.
That's what it made me think too. I was like, I've never noticed that when I was a kid watching it, of course, because you don't notice that kind of stuff. But then later you're like, well, that's inappropriate. Who puts that dress on their daughter? Wait a minute, this is not even real life. A producer made that choice to put that fucking dress on that girl. That's not.
Yeah,
family
they didn't
TV.
give a fuck back then about kids. Like they didn't think about it. They were like, whatever.
Could you imagine trying to be that guy now and like put a show on TV and okay, there's 6 little girls on the show and they're all basically dressed like hookers. Nobody says anything. It's just how they dress.
Yeah.
And I gotta agree with you, Andy. I think Bobby seemed kind of like an afterthought, like where at some point somebody goes, all right, look, all the kids can't be good looking. And they're like, all right, put this one as the ugly one.
That's what they got it. Like casting is a tough
that's
thing.
Some serious shade thrown at Mike Lookinland.
Yeah.
Well, relatively speaking. And
Did you not cry
like-
when he crashed his race car and couldn't be home for Christmas?
I don't remember that one, but
That
I do
was in
remember him
the-
overstuffing the laundry and having the suds come out and flood the house.
Love that one. That
That was Bobby's big moment for me.
he was kind of a little prick after seeing some of it, watching through it. Even my granddaughter one day, just out of the blue, watching it, she was like, "Papa, the only one I don't really like is Bobby."
Wow.
Fucking Bobby.
If you wanted one of them to,
Cocksucker.
if you had a bottle and you needed the bottle cap bitten off and you were with the Brady family.
Wait. So if you didn't have a can opener, Bobby's your guy.
Yeah, you go,
Chew it
"Hey,
off.
Bobby."
Again, it's kind of a Teen Wolf thing. He's kind of like a werewolf. Kind of like a
Yeah.
little werewolf.
I mean, if you told him that, he'd probably go, "Yeah, man, I really wanted that part."
Yeah, I went for it. Totally.
But he was, by that time he was probably in his 20s.
They all look good in that picture, though. I don't know how long ago that was. That was probably a long time ago.
I think it was when they were doing a reboot, like Brady Bunch renovation, I think is.
Oh, right. Yeah, I saw that. God damn it.
Wait, really?
That wrote me in. I didn't want to stay for the second hour, but I did.
Are you shitting
2
me?
hours?
Oh, renovation. What, they rebuilt the house?
They did a house to look like their old house.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was like a home network show or something.
It's just
Like
I
Property
realized
Brothers helped them renovate.
I'm cynical, but I'm also nostalgic. I bring my cynicism to it. So I'm like, God damn it, man. Come on. But I stayed around. I watched the whole fucking thing.
Well, except for like an hour.
They didn't bring
Well,
all
it paid
of it
off.
back.
Oh, well, I hate
carpentry.
watch stuff though. I get that. I'll watch stuff that I know
They-
I don't like or shouldn't be watching, and I'll watch the whole thing.
They used the interior of the Brady house for a bunch of different shows. I don't remember where I saw this or how to Chaille.
Well, we
look
talked
at it.
about how they
But
used
there's
it
a
for,
bunch of I remember seeing something on either Twitter or Reddit about like all of these different shows where there's shots of these shows clearly inside the Brady's fucking
Like
house.
the set,
Yeah, the set. They used it
not
for
the
a
house,
lot
because
of
the
other
house
shows.
actually exists.
The house exists. That's
The
a whole
house just went
outfit.
for sale a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
I
that's
remember
an
seeing an
exterior
article
shot.
about it.
But the interior they use for other shows, and it's wild to see it. But it's like, oh, clearly that's it. They just you don't think about it, but they did.
there was
use
that
it a bunch of times.
the one I don't know if it was the first one, but one of the Brady movies they made, the spoof, and it had the Gary, the dude
Gary
from-
Cole.
Gary Cole is the dad. That was a
He
pretty
was
funny
fantastic.
movie. The story was that Carol's ex-husband came back to get a family heirloom that just sat there during the show, like some stupid thing. But yeah, the father made that movie. But yeah, they all did. I thought that was a pretty funny spoof of a show for sure.
Mhm.
Everybody was close in character. God damn
I
it.
didn't know that about Gary Cole, and so I looked him up, and he looks exactly like Brett Brock, friend of the show, Brett Brock.
What?
Did you not?
He
does.
does look like Brett Brock. That's
Oh
funny.
man!
Look at him. Yeah, find a picture.
Check
of
out Brett Brock's
I'm looking for
show on Twitch, by the way. Since we brought him up, give him a plug.
Oh, hey, listen, Brett Brock's show on Twitch is so popular. He's bumping people. I saw that he bumped our good friend Ken Harris, published author Ken Harris, for an interview with hilarious comedian Henry Phillips. So, I mean, this is some really Hollywood shit that's going on. I was impressed by all of it. Andy's having trouble with his microphone again.
Yeah, it says it. It's a new mic troubles.
Wait, you got new equipment?
No, it's just
Okay.
like the cables or something are fucking.
He's having new mic troubles, and Gary Cole played the new mic. So it's
Mhm.
very serendipitous.
And he was
Shit.
getting
cut
that was it Talladega Nights? No, that's Tom Cruise. God damn it, man. I think I don't know if the it's
Did
almost.
you get Gary Cole and Tom Cruise mixed up? How is
No.
that even?
He's the father.
possible?
He's Will Ferrell's father in the racing movie. I got the racing movie titles.
Oh, that's the Goof movie.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
plays Will
Talladega
Ferrell's shit heel old man who comes back, and
All right.
I really like
Days of Thunder was the Tom Cruise
Yeah.
racing movie. Talladega Nights was the.
Tom Cruise. There's one somebody who'd be good in Golden Girls.
He could play Sophia, a tour de force.
Yeah,
He's short enough. You could put him in just a little bit of makeup,
Mhm.
and then you talk about
Blackface solves all of our problems.
Is it wrong to make a fictional character be played by a black actor? Well, yes, if it's a white actor in blackface, it's definitely wrong. Oh my God. Perfect. That's perfect though.
Mm.
I would watch that show. Tom Cruise would do all of his own stunts in the new Golden Girls.
Fuck yeah. Tom Cruise is the greatest actor of our time.
You know, the only problem with the whole Golden Girls thing is I don't watch network TV at all. It's
As long as
fucking
you-
horrible.
So what is your complaint here? First of all, it
Nothing
doesn't have to
can
go
get
on network
made
TV.
on network
Who says it
TV
goes
without
on network TV. We pitched this to
without
Netflix.
being totally watered down
We
and everyone
pitched this
fucking
to Netflix, Chaille. This is a Netflix streamer. It's
Or
a 10 episode Netflix streamer. It drops and everyone goes fucking crazy. It's the new Golden
No.
Girl. It
that
would
new
be such a
Amazon
Well, you didn't
freebie.
say that.
Chaille, freebie will take
No, we got-
right down on this one.
We got to go Hallmark
Chad,
or
call
Edgy
Greg
enough.
Garcia up and we'll pitch this to him. And
How about-
he's got the connections that we can make this happen.
How about we go Hallmark Plus? We introduce a streaming service
Oh,
for
that's
all-
the dog channel, dude. No one watches that. That's those romance
Hallmark?
novels.
I think Hallmark has Christmas movies for people that are
Sad
sensitive
people.
and still have family values.
They're called Trump supporters, Andy.
Yeah. People who have Christmas in their heart.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's the channel that has all those.
Yes, it
Oh,
is. Yeah, one of my favorite people is big on the Hallmark Channel, and that is Andrea Canning, who is the girl who does Datelines with Josh Mankiewicz and Keith Morrison and Dennis Murphy. And Andrea Canning is the fourth person, and she's great. But she's also she writes movie scripts, and she's written like a shit ton of those Hallmark Christmas movies. So this bitch has made so much money off of these. Probably every one of her movies is the same. I've never seen any of them. They're probably all the same movie, just redone.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Louis L'Amour cranking out a book like every
Kiss me
Absolutely.
once for Christmas.
Okay. The handsome,
Yeah, fucking
the handsome stranger's car breaks down at the end.
Yeah.
He's running
that could
away.
be Penthouse Letters right there.
Well, Andy's version is always going to be a little bit twisted and
Right.
weird.
Yeah. No, they would go, well, okay. Then they wait for me to leave the room, and then they would just go, okay, well, keep the framework, but let's get rid of.
Let's
no, he
bang.
doesn't have to. There's no reason he has to be a rape victim. He could just be, he has amnesia. It's not because he was raped. He was putting on a Christmas production, and one of the sandbags hit him in the head, and he forgot about Christmas, and he's been wandering around. And shit, man. That's
And
right.
then he committed a
Christmas.
murder. So it's
Yeah.
like a Dateline Hallmark Christmas movie crossover.
One of our listeners, Thomas, makes Hallmark movies, and we could maybe pitch him a
really?
family-friendly script. I feel like, these are times, and times like these, we need to pull together with Christmas movies. we can get this thing back on its feet. It's just, forget this election. It doesn't matter. We just need to have a good Christmas. Don't mention abortion. because that'll probably bring it to a halt. But
now I kind of want to meet with you guys at a separate time once a week to write these fucking scripts so we can start selling them, because I think they're fantastic.
You just we need to find that handsome actor to throw in with us, like a poor man's George Clooney. Somebody's been kicked around, and we can't even go with the dude who's in Whale because he's already been picked back up. We could have got him a while ago.
Ooh.
The guy we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, the big fat actor who's in the was in George of the Jungle.
Oh, Brendan Fraser.
Brandon Fraser?
Right, yeah. Now that he's off, but if he
He's a
wasn't,
fat ass,
if he had, even fat, he could still pull that off. But now he's going to be a bit hard get now.
Yeah,
We need that fat kid from that baseball movie. God.
Sandlot?
Sandlot. Yeah, the fat kid from Sandlot. I see him
Balls.
dance.
Yeah, have you seen that kid up close now? Yeah, that's an ugly motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
You don't
Never
want
add
him
a
in
ginger,
any of
Andy.
your-
It's your own rule.
Yeah.
Never add a
Yeah.
ginger.
You
I
already
wrote it
broke
down.
your own rule, Andy.
Yeah.
He's
Never
a dancing.
bring in a ginger. And you're
He's
trying
a
to do it right
dancing
now.
ginger. Yeah, dancing ginger makes it even worse. Just draw attention to this shit.
You're
Yeah.
killing me, Smalls.
I think I'm at the maximum funk on being slightly brain damaged from chemotherapy and weed edibles. I had to do a lot of weed to get through this shit.
Speaking of, let's just say this. We haven't talked about this since we were last together. Last time we were together, you were still waiting for your readout on how it all went.
Cancer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had
you're
to.
cancer free, dude. Holy
Yes.
shit. It
I
worked.
haven't read the thing. I taken the guy. There's a whole. I thought of. Well, they handed me this thing.
What if at the bottom it says you have cancer? Make your final preparation.
Right.
Three
He
days
might
to
have.
reply, or you'll get cancer.
And he's basing it on the fact they didn't schedule him another appointment immediately. So he's like, all right, I must be cancer free.
Yeah,
I don't have to read this shit.
I didn't. I'm gonna. I'd like to go somewhere if I ever got there and burn all these papers that I haven't read, my lab report, all the shit, the proper diet, how to, the only one I read was when I spilled that, the chemo drug was spewing out of my chest.
Oh, when your tube popped out.
When my tube popped, I ran down and I go, God damn it, where are the directions on this shit? And it was like, this shit's there's a hazardous waste bag. So, that's the first thing, and gloves. So it's like, God damn it. And then I got to find glasses to read the shit.
But blowing your nose into a tissue at a doctor's office, that would go in a hazmat bag too.
Yeah. So, so I did read those papers, but I got a whole, real estate, if I went for my real estate license, I'd have a similar notebook of stuff I'd need to study. And that's all about me. And I don't give a shit. It's like, don't tell me, I don't care how the algebra gets us to this thing. I don't.
They did tell you. They actually.
Yeah, I went in and saw my man. My man
right?
who comments on my clothing too. He goes, he goes, it's good news. And then to verify, and then I stopped. It's like, okay, I don't have cancer. And then I was like, oh, God damn it.
Wait, he said. It's good news, and then you were about to say.
No, I'm just in my own head, I got the main point of it, and then he had other follow-up shit. I heard it's an aggressive cancer. As I told you before, it's an aggressive cancer, so we'll have follow-ups and blah blah blah, and blah. So no cancer at the moment. It doesn't mean I shouldn't be reckless on drugs. It just means that right now, my aggressive cancer is just going, all right.
Let's just say this. Look, dude, it's great that you're cancer free
at
the moment. And it is an aggressive form of cancer that you had, and you'll have to constantly be rechecked. And if it comes back, it might be bad. But the fact that you're still here after they fucking sliced you open like a goddamn fish on a rock is incredible. And we're all glad for it.
They could have removed it
This is the best possible outcome that we could have hoped for when we heard about this probably a little less than a year ago. And fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's
sure.
So that was a sigh of relief. And then I wanted to go somewhere and celebrate, but I didn't have anywhere to go. Like fucking drive over to the coast or something. I was just fuck it. And I
The
went home and-
Holcombs didn't have a
Yeah,
reservation.
you know what?
Where
Shit,
they?
funny. Chad, thanks for reminding me. Look at this. I took this newspaper from my neighbor. She didn't- but it says fist fights and campsite pirates, and the whole thing is about people who do what I did without being cool about it. They're like, I would be.
How are you cool about it? The fact that you didn't get caught?
Didn't get caught. He wasn't challenged.
My pirating, I would never go into somebody's. You never go into their cove pirate speak, but you can't go into somebody's thing if they're on the same day. They might be there.
Pirate sounded Mexican.
You don't want two ships,
go into there.
you don't want two ships to arrive at port at the same time. So
Stay
I
out of my
wait till-
cove, SA.
And I would never take over a Martinez camp. Rodriguez
Hey,
camp.
I'm not sure that that's good.
Washington family of 12. I'm staying away.
Wait, are you like a woke campsite?
No,
pirate? Like you won't
right, I
parasite
guess-
on a white, you only
I
do
have
what white families do?
I'm not on the front page getting in fist fights with somebody who made a reservation.
No, he's profiling on the name so that he doesn't run into a situation. They got 12 kids. I mean, there's going to be a range, and you're gonna have to fight 3 at a time.
Well, that's
The
why
Washingtons and the
fist fight.
Martinezes are coming. They're coming to the site.
if
The
the
whole
Holcomb,
they'll have
might
knives.
not be there.
if the Holcomb showed up a day and a half late, I would go, well, more power to you, man. I'm a pirate. Introduce Arg, have some firewood. I'd be setting sails out now. So I had a setup that broke down easy, because I'm a cool pirate. But apparently some of these other pirates are going around and then they're changing the tags. I took the tag off.
That's changing it. How is that not changing it?
I altered the appearance of the post, but I didn't put my own name out there or something. I wanted
It's just the same, because if there's no tag on there, it looks like it's a free site.
Nobody
It's
wanted
open.
the Holcombs to be there more than I did, but I didn't. I think they were going to make it, and they didn't. But I would not have thrown down with the Holcombs and declared, one, because I don't want to talk to the police. They start nosing around, asking questions and shit. I have no business being here. I'm not a Holcomb. I've always admired them. I've admired how the Holcombs hung out together and everything, and
If there's anything like karma, there will be people who come to Panamint and steal our campsite.
They could chop her in.
Yeah. We get there and the Holcombs are already there.
Oh, man.
Oh, you guys are here?
All of them. Yeah, all 4 of them.
Like Mr. Hand at the end of Fast Times, where he goes into Spicoli's
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
Well, I know you guys want to have fun.
Or
You know,
they
Jeff,
hear,
I've done some math, and it turns out you've wasted 230 hours of my time this semester, and that estimate is generous. So sit down. We're gonna go over the.
It
XYZ
worked though,
there.
because Spicoli nailed a little synopsis of history there.
He did.
You got to go get. Yeah, I like the character of Spicoli. It's too bad he grew up to be that actor.
He turned into a weirdo, but
John Penn's a bit of a but he's
acting is a thing where you're not like the real person.
Yeah.
Oh.
John Penn is just. I think he's just intense. I don't even know. I think
that's
you
right.
know, I don't know if he's an asshole or whatever, but he's just
I think he's intense, and I also think that when you have that much success and that much money, you start having a lot of yes people around you who tell you, who don't tell you no when you need to be told no.
Well, and from a young age, right?
Yeah.
He's been,
Yeah. I mean, that bitch married Madonna. Like he
Yeah.
was on
Yeah.
top of the fucking world. He was partying. Spicoli is as iconic a character as
Mhm.
you could ever have.
Yeah, it's almost like
For us, for
it's
our
hard
age.
to believe that Spicoli wasn't like that. Like he got offset. He's the same. He was
Right.
that good in that role that you think, oh, he just has to be that dude, and he's
He
probably,
should have been the guy that McConaughey is.
Mhm.
McConaughey became hey, I'm cool. I'll play drums at the soccer game. I'll hang out. I'll write
Yeah.
a book called Green Lights. Just be about cool shit. Sean Penn is too intense for that. But they're kind of the same guy.
What was Sean Penn?
Spicoli and Wooderson are kind of the same
Yeah.
characters in a way.
What would you like if you had to go? What your second favorite Sean Penn movie? You have to think about for a while, but you would go probably if that wasn't his
It's probably
first
the
movie,
only one I could remember.
No,
right.
yeah,
Quickly.
well,
The one who was a cop.
Oh yeah,
it is, but I
Yeah.
can't remember it. But he was fucking incredible in it. What was the movie? It was
at close range with
Al Pacino movie.
Christopher Walken.
What was the Al Pacino movie where he had a fucking big afro in it?
He was Milk.
What's the movie?
He was-
he was incredible in it.
He was not MILF. He was in Milk.
Had a whole
Harvey Milk.
Oh,
right?
I see it.
I
Hold
can't
on,
remember.
Carlito's Way.
Carlito's Way. He was fucking incredible in Carlito's Way.
I've never even seen that movie. I'm going to bring this up. I didn't even know
Oh
that
my
was him.
god.
He was incredible in Madonna. Hey ho.
Hey ho.
The other one that I was thinking about was Colors, the gang movie.
Oh,
where
yeah, that was a
Oh,
good
he
one.
was great in that. Him and Duval.
I mean, look at him in this.
Duvall, yeah.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at
this
Oh,
wow.
Carlito's Way is a fucking
Yeah.
great film.
He's probably
Yeah.
done a ton of stuff that
Also, Falcon and the Snowman, wasn't he in Falcon? He was Falcon. Yeah, Falcon and the Snowman.
Wasn't he in Taps too?
Yep.
With
Yeah.
With the greatest actor of our generation, Tom Cruise,
no, Tom Cruise was in Taps?
wasn't he?
I think so.
No, it was that other guy,
Yeah.
Timothy something. I'm looking it up.
Timothy Hutton.
Timothy
Timothy
Hutton,
Cruise.
yeah.
Timothy
Oh, it was
Cruise?
Tom Cruise, Sean Penn, and Timothy Hutton.
That was that could have been part of the Brat that was formulating the edges of the Brat Pack.
Chaille, watch Carlito's Way. We
I
told you
will.
to watch what was it, Training Day, which
Training
was
Day was great. Yeah.
fucking great. Carlito's Way you will also enjoy very much. It was really
It's
a
good.
fucking great
Look
film.
at these young bucks
Oh,
on the set of
shit.
Taps.
Taps. Look at
That-
that. That looks
That's
like
Tom Cruise, but it looks like it could be your guy from Black Phone, Ethan Hawke.
that looks like it's a behind the scenes at Peaky Blinders.
Timothy Hutton. Yeah, that dude did a lot of stuff back in that time frame.
Wasn't he in Soul Man? One of my favorite movies of blackface.
Man.
See,
Yeah.
I
Thomas
think that was
Howell.
C. Thomas Howell.
Oh, that was C. Thomas Howell. That's right.
Yeah. How did it?
They were all the same guy to me back then.
His agent must have like, man, if this hits, it's going to be good, but there's a downside. There's definitely a downside to this.
Look at about
Listen,
40% maybe.
if the blacks
negative.
start complaining about this whole blackface, minstrel show trope, we're sunk. But if they don't, Soul Man's a fucking hit, bro. Oh man.
It's not like you can even say, well, it was a different time. No, it was like 89, man.
It
wasn't
kind of
that-
was. It was like right when they were about to do it. Like, look, the Wayans brothers did White Chicks, right? Like maybe 10 years after that, but still,
Yeah.
they were doing the same. It was the same idea. It was just supposed to be a comedy.
Yes.
Like-
I think, don't
And the
you
thing
think,
about
It was
blackface
a
is-
simpler time, for
The
sure.
thing about blackface is the reason. This is what people sometimes don't understand the nuance of this. The reason blackface is a problem is that people would do blackface minstrel shows as a way to denigrate black people. It was meant to be a fucking tap dancing type of show. as if that's all they could do. Like that's why it's a problem that you were in blackface. It brings back that idea.
sure.
So
And
if you do
Soul
blackface
Man's
and then
not,
do a
Soul
serious
Man
reading,
is not trying to do that. Like it's still problematic in its own way, but it's just like, hey, I applied for college and didn't get in, and I applied as a black, I got in. That's the idea of the movie. They weren't thinking about minstrel shows from the 1920s when they wrote Soul Man.
You're preaching to the choir. Remember, I just talked about the Ding Dong Ditch, but the other
I know,
word that I
you
got
had to-
bleeped
you
out
had to
for, and
edit
it's the
out
same
what you
exact
said.
thing.
Yeah, Chaille's got a button now called the Chad button.
Well, yeah, for YouTube, right?
yeah,
For
Patreon,
he
they can,
presses it and you say it more.
yeah, we go in. I do an hour on Hop Sync.
Hop Sync.
When I was working at the Comedy Store at the podcast
Oops.
studio, and we did a show with August Hamilton, he made a Hop Sing joke at least every week. We would sit down, we would write jokes for his show, and it would be like a monologue, right? And
Explain
every
August
week-
Hamilton. Explain his history so that people get an idea why he might be doing hop sing jokes.
August Hamilton was a comic from the 70s at the Comedy Store who was supposed to be the next Johnny Carson, but he was such a cokehead that he blew it. But he still wants to be it, and he's still doing those kind of jokes to this day. And he was Mitzi Shore's boyfriend for a long time. So he still is allowed to do sets at the Comedy Store, which is mind-blowing. And he just writes monologue style jokes, and they're very old school / racist, so like he goes on stage and he does these racist jokes, but everyone laughs because he's an old guy doing racist jokes, but he thinks they're laughing because he's a vital comic on the cutting edge of right there it is.
So the audience is on that edge
Every
of laughing
week,
with
every
him.
week he wanted to do a Hop Sing joke. Every week he wanted to do a Bill Cosby. Like every week he would write a joke in which the punchline was, and then you woke up with Bill Cosby above you in a fucking robe. Like he had like 8 jokes that he would write, right? Like every joke fit into one of the 8 categories, like Plinko on Price is Right. Like that was Argus Hamilton's writing.
And Mad Libs.
Yeah, it just dropped in. Oh, this turns out to be a Bill Cosby in a robe of you wake up in Bill Cosby. Like and Hop Sing. He had so many Hop Sing jokes he would try to write. Any joke about an animal, any joke with a dog in it was a Korean or Vietnamese, and he didn't even care what the ethnicity was, but someone's eating his dog.
Is he worked the road a lot to this day?
Absolutely not. He only does the Comedy Store, and he does it on the weekends, and he writes he used to write a joke column thing in like a syndicated like newspaper kind of deal where it was like a monologue style joke thing that he wrote. And he has family money. He's always had money, so that's never been a problem for him. So he doesn't have to do the road. He doesn't have to make it. But he was going to be the next Johnny Carson. I mean, he did a bunch of Tonight Show performances, and he was hot shit. But he was such a cokehead that he when he finally did his Carson thing, he was so coked out of his mind that it was unwatchable. And they it was like a pilot that they did, and they were like, yeah, you'll never do this. And then he got, they threw him into the Betty Ford clinic and all this shit. There's a story of him going to pick up Paulie at school. Here's what I think something happened. The story Paulie tells is Paulie rode his scooter like a Vespa scooter to school in like junior high. And they told him he couldn't ride his scooter to school.
It's not even a moped. That's like a motor vehicle.
Well, maybe
Like a
it was even a
Vespa?
moped back then. I don't even remember. But the point is, Argus was tasked with going to the school to get him and get the scooter. And he went to the school, and he had like a driver, and the driver brought Paulie home, but Argus had to drive the fucking scooter home. And he wiped it out like 50 times on the way home. And he finally showed back up at Mitzi's house, like hours later, like late afternoon, covered in fucking like, scabs and blood. Like he had wiped it out like a million times on the way home. That was just Argus Hamilton. That's just who it was, So Hop Sing,
Yeah, man. He's I don't know.
We tried to make the Argus. They tasked us with making an Argus Hamilton Comedy Store Tonight show for the Comedy Store YouTube channel, and we tried to make it into a Space Ghost style show in which Todd Walker and Mike Schmidt and I took all of the footage and made it into these funny clips. Like there's clips of Argus saying things that we would give him scripts of things to say that were just bizarre, because we were cutting it into like, well, just make him like into this crazy thing. Like, and it was really funny, but the Comedy Store had absolutely no interest in letting us do this. So it just got sunk, and it was a shame because we had a lot of fun with it. We'll find some of that shit. Todd has some of it. We'll find some of it and put it on the Patreon, because
you guys it was coming out on it was Facebook Live or something, right?
We did it live for a while.
Yeah.
Which was a nightmare. But the point for us was like, listen, we'll do it live. We'll do whatever the Comedy Store wants us to do. We'll put Argus's thing out. But we were filming it and making him we would make him read like a fake commercial. But it was just to get him to read all these crazy things that we could later cut into this bizarre fucking 5-minute clip that would be like what we thought the show was. And there's some good funny shit in there. We'll put it on Patreon because I know Todd Walker has it all. Argus Hamilton, ladies and gentlemen.
Argus, more than you ever wanted to know about Argus Hamilton.
Look him up. Well, you asked.
I'm saying it's like you never knew that there was so much behind this guy. I went to a couple of those shows that you did.
Argus Hamilton. I gave Argus Hamilton a joke, and he has done it every year. We would write. Sandro Ayokolano was with me on the writing staff of the Comedy Store Tonight with Argus Hamilton, and we would write jokes for him, and then he would take those jokes and he would do them, and then he would do them on stage, and it's like, wait, dude, like we wrote this for this show, like you can't just we're not your comedy writers now. Like,
oh yes, you were.
Here's how we were.
Yeah,
it was funny. Like he would take something. He would take things that were rejected, and then we would see like jokes that we pitched to him, like on his Facebook page as like a thing that he wrote. He has no qualms about any of that. He's old school. He's old school, man. It's all fair game.
Yeah.
You ever miss all that stuff, Erickson, as goofy as it was?
Not really. I worked my ass off for that show, and we did it with $50 fucking cameras. Like, for the comedy, it's a Comedy Store. And we kept begging them like, hey, just give us actual microphones and cameras. Like we were expected to either use like the cheapest shit available or buy shit ourselves. Oh. And we were like, well, we're not doing that. Like that's
we don't care that much.
Every single person told us, if the Comedy Store tells you to buy it yourself, don't do it, because that's a rabbit hole you will never stop going down. They'll just keep making you do it. So we said, no, we're not doing that. We're like, but all four of us have better cameras and microphones on this podcast than we used for what is behind Chaille right now, which the Comedy Store was ostensibly paying us to do. Like, how do you want us to film this? Of course it looks like shit. Like, it's a $40 fucking webcam, you know?
Logitech.
Yes.
Yeah, but now you have all this before they were superstars footage, like that picture right there.
Yeah. Of Jeremiah Watkins. If he ever becomes a star, we'll have it.
Oh, damn it. I thought he was. That dude's fucking hilarious.
Jeremiah is pretty funny. We did have a lot of fun. I'm telling you, we filmed a lot of funny shit. Like I'll say it again. We'll put a clip from that Todd made. Todd was the best. Once we added Todd Walker to the mix, that's what we needed. Because Mike Schmidt and I were down there and we had ideas, but we were not film editors. And Todd is that. And he's like, oh, let me do this. And then it was just clip together weirdness of like Adult Swim style.
Oh.
We're like, oh, this is exactly what we were thinking about the whole time.
Now it's funny.
No, it's funny.
Did Argus ever see any of those?
Yes, but he had no idea what he was looking at. And he didn't care. He was like, whatever. All he wanted was, he always thought he should have been Johnny Carson. So the fact that he was getting to be in the basement and like walk out from behind a curtain and say jokes, that was good enough for him.
Even though the curtain was just 6 inches in front of a brick wall, he's like holding still, trying not to breathe on the curtain. Hold on, we're gonna go in 3, 2.
We all get one like fucking wish.
14 people down there that he knew who were his friends, who would clap for him at anything he said, and he was in heaven.
That's fucking pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. It's like those things they show on Saturday game day, a kid with Down syndrome getting to lead the team in a prayer or some shit like that.
It really was. It was like a retarded kid scoring a touchdown. That's what. If I got like, well, cancer diagnosis, you can go into battle. You want to die. Hospice will help you die in a week, or you can go to Ukraine. Like, fucking have at it or something. Maybe that's what you want to do. It's like Bill Hicks bit, take your old folks to die in the movies. Right. You want to see your grandma just die with her heart, fluttering like a little bird? Or do you want her to meet Chuck Norris?
Chuck Norris. Yeah. Chuck Norris was he wasn't at the Capitol, but there was a lot of dudes who looked like Chuck Norris and a lot of false sightings. I think Chuck Norris had to come out and say, I wasn't there, man.
Yeah. That's like speaking of Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Well, we had 3 Chuck Norrises at the insurrection.
three right-wing guys who cultivated the Chuck Norris look.
Hey, that girl looks just like Pat Benatar.
Yeah. Insist on seeing their abs. If it's the real Chuck, he'll show you and pitch the product that he uses. I watch him on, sometimes I wake up and Chuck Norris is on TV working out with his lady.
You still do that incline fucking sit-up thing?
Total gym.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have one of those tucked away in my back room somewhere.
How's it working out for you, dude?
How's that different
takes
than
up a lot of fucking space. I'll tell you that right now. You must have a big house if you have one of those, because even folded up, I'm getting ready to put it on Craigslist.
Well, if you'd have thought about it for a second, Chad, you got to admit, he did tell you it was the total gym. Not a half a gym.
I figured the more weight you have to pull on those things, the stronger I'd be. It's a win-win for me, but I just didn't have the room.
I forget what
that's what it was.
Or the ambition.
I think it was a brother of mine got sold on I think it was Mr. Atlas workouts or some shit.
Mr. Atlas.
One of the musclehead guys. And a lot of the shit, you had the equipment. So they wouldn't even put this shit out now. But like I could use, like I'd get a broom and I could do curls or whatever. You do the resistance with your knee and shit like that. But I had a whole bunch of books with these musclehead doing the shit, and I knew I could do it too once I saw him achieving it. I forget what all that shit was, but it was all like kind of resistance. Like you get chairs and balance yourself on chairs and shit.
Like isometric stuff.
Isometrics, that's what.
So you look like this guy.
That's dude, right?
Charles
yeah,
Atlas.
Charles Atlas.
Yeah, like I figured I could do that by the end of the summer, but I never got to the end of summer.
Here's the thing. Charles Atlas is pretty smart. Look at that. He's actually not. I mean,
he's not a roid head. He did.
No, I mean, look at his left arm. Look at his left bicep right now. That's literally no muscle popping up, right?
That's healthy, strong right there.
It's all good. I'm not saying it's not good, but I'm like saying like that's not like like so if that was your shot today, you'd be like, let's reshoot this. It doesn't look right.
Well, you got to remember your audience was 98-pound weakling, so you had to give them an achievable goal.
And
you didn't want to come out looking like Arnold.
Yeah. Plus, they all had sand in their eyes, so they
That
couldn't
was very blurry.
Yeah. Why so many people kicking sand in my face?
They used to call me Sandblaster back in the day because I got sand kicked in my face every time I go to the beach.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think that is the dude who was in the comic books, right? The same.
Yeah, I wonder if
one of my brothers got sand kicked in his face. Probably John.
I was just going to ask. Well, that was just going to be my question.
Yeah,
that really happens. I thought maybe that was like one of those things that like people assume it happened.
Well, that's a chicken or the egg thing. I think the guy read about it at the back of the comic book and then kicked sand in his brother's face because he's like, "That's a good idea. I never thought about that."
I should kick sand on that.
What if he just were a skinny dude that kicked ass, and you go to the beach and find some musclehead chatting with a lady and kick sand in his face? You'd have to be able to back it, and there's not many who could, but like maybe a student of Miyagi-Do.
Sand kickers.
Yeah, kick sand in his face and go, motherfucker, this is for like a Revenge of the Nerds kind of a thing. It can't happen because nerds get their ass kicked. Big tough dude would probably fucking but then the little dude goes,
look at that picture of Charles Atlas right there. Like, okay, that's look, if I looked like that, I'd be thrilled. That's not unhealthy. He's got a bit of a six-pack going. He looks great, but that's still not anywhere near. I mean, granted, this was,
yeah, but look at the way he stands there in his mannies.
Like a mankini.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, his pants are too high.
I mean, he'd be an average. He wouldn't be like a big wrestler now. Like he wouldn't be.
He'd be one of the local guys or the guys that are there to spar.
That's a big chest, though. That's a big chest. He's got a big chest in that picture.
Yeah,
he's barrel chested for sure.
Put him next
basically
to
the guy that gets the most pussy at the small town bar. He's that kind of guy.
Which is the thing we were all going for.
Especially
the ad worked,
if
you think about it, for sure.
Yeah, you want to be the Buddy Epson at the nursing home or whatever. And you score them back. Old lady.
It is weird. It is weird that he would take that other shot didn't look too bad. I thought that Erickson thought he would retake, but that one where there's no depth to your genital area. You don't want to have a shot that looks like Ken doll, just smooth over. I mean, chub up or something if you need to, but
that might be a
something.
1950s.
Well, back then,
kind of
dudes were under the misconception that they didn't need to have a big penis as long as they were big, strong men. But turns out chicks like bigger dicks. So then they started emphasizing.
Yeah. Who knew? Maybe the secret was that it was in his butthole right there. That's why you can't see it.
Yeah.
That's why he's making that fucking doing that with his hand. Like, it's in my hand right now.
I think he wanted to be in a picture. I'm getting hard. Hurry, snap it. But yeah, they didn't worry about puffing their dick up, and I don't think he had great hair or anything either. He didn't oil himself up. It was just straight, you know. It was the audience was weakling pussies that aren't going to follow the workouts
It definitely
anyway.
was. Well, it was definitely a time when you couldn't have even a hint of a shadow or a thing where your dick was like when the Rolling Stones album Sticky Fingers came out in 1972. It was a huge controversy that you could see Mick Jagger's dick on the album cover.
That was a bit overkill. I mean, we're gonna go 0 to 100.
Well, I'm just saying.
Let me see some Tarzan bulge once in a while before you're just gonna give me a straight silhouette.
Yeah, straight brown sugar on that fucking Sticky Fingers album.
Mick Jagger, he was the opposite of Mr. Atlas, where he was a little fella, but he had a big dick. So
he had a big dick.
He wanted to show that he had a big penis and let people know.
Look at
Because
that.
they would have stereotyped him as he doesn't have a big penis. He's a little rock and roll guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's
I mean,
Chaille cock blocking.
Not now.
literally cock blocking.
I can't see it. It's one of
What?
the 3D things. To show me where the penis
You gotta
is.
unfocus your
You
eyes.
can't see that?
You don't know where the penis is?
Oh, okay, there it is. Yeah. Okay, no,
Imagine
was,
like where it might lay. Andy.
there it goes. Yeah.
And don't forget, the album had the original album was the zipper work, so you could
That zipper,
unzip.
yeah, the zipper right
Yeah.
here you could pull down.
And
Yeah,
the balls
really.
flopped out. That just makes me nostalgic for the days whenever I could wear pants and the first thing you'd see was my dick and not my balls.
Yeah,
Balls is the bigger bulge now.
yeah. It's a whole thing. Now that we're wearing stage mans, I bought some more. Now I'm exclusively wearing stage man underwear.
Great,
now.
aren't they?
And let me
Yeah.
just tell you. And now I don't understand why pants aren't the same way. I think all pants should have pouches on the front.
Pocket.
I don't
mean the-
understand why we're smashing our dicks and balls down.
Those
Everything
the
should be
stage
allowed.
men are so good for hunting. I've discovered walking. If you have to walk a bunch of distance where you're going to get all sweaty, you don't want all your shit
Does it help
smushing together.
Help your sense of
Perfect for
direction?
that. You can use them like a compass. We'll find water. Go water dowser.
They're not, Chad. It's not a dividing rod. Don't make claims on the show that we can't back up.
Maybe
all
it's
right?
like maybe that's what they need to do with like a
Over
Buck
there!
Rogers.
It's over there.
Maybe that's a new look. I haven't tried them. I'm still, let my
You've never
balls-
tried a stage man underwear?
No, I'm still letting my balls. They're
All right. Well,
not-
here's the
they
thing,
hang
Andy.
out.
I'm going to bring you a pair. I'm going to bring you a pair. I'm coming to Denver to see your daughter.
Oh
get
yeah.
married. I'm going to bring you a pair of stage man.
You use ones.
And no, they'll be brand new.
Well, unless that's what you want.
Yeah, you tell me what you want.
Save a
I
buck.
got you covered. But
So
once
this
you wear
is-
once
so-
you wear the stage man, you'll be done with all other underwears.
Uh-huh.
So I
Man,
took
bicycling. They're good for bicycling.
They're good
I
for
took
everything
all of
because they
my-
allow your
Nah.
dick and balls to just be in where they always
They can
are.
be themselves finally, huh? It's like
It turns out
It's
that
like-
you realize you've been smashing your dick and balls down for no reason this whole time.
it's like having a pet chimpanzee and then you take it to a refuge and it's like, oh, what will my dick
It's
do?
actually a really good analogy. You're like, oh, I
Go
should have let
on,
this
go on,
be
Chim
free."
Chim. Go on, don't make me tear up again. I just
And then
should-
later, when you put your old underwear back on, your dick and balls come and greets you and hugs you and like, oh.
and then bite your face off because they're never meant to be kept as a hostage.
I left all of my stage man underpants in the tour van. It's in Huntsville. So when I came
No.
home, I only had like, think, because we had a sponsorship on Stanhope, so we got a bunch to have to try out and stuff, and that's how come you guys know about it. So when I got home, I had to wear like the old underpants that I had that were just hanging around because I put them all away, and then when wash day was done and I could jump back into a pair of Stage Man, wow. Go 4 days without wearing them, and then you'll have another appreciation for them.
So your penis just knows where to go, huh? You don't have to zoom it in there.
No, it's just a pouch. It's a big pouch for your balls and
space in front of you. Instead of going flat down, it goes
like
out.
This enormously weird, grotesque, sewn on, like
elephant trunk.
Like the beak, like the beak nose that they would wear during the pandemics, like 400 years ago.
And
like
when you take a shit,
yeah.
When you
like
take a shit, you have a place to put your phone.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the greatest things about them is a phone holder while you're taking a crap, and and the oh shit. Oh, the other thing is that sometimes you'll have a little bit of a reservoir tip, and it'll make you feel a little bit insecure. But when you wake up first thing in the morning, you always feel fantastic. You're like, God damn, great big old morning boner in those Stage Mans. It just holds it in there nice and comfortably.
Think
and
of
you
this,
feel
Andy.
you feel pretty good about yourself.
Is that that ain't a pair of them, is it?
Well, that's an early model, I think.
But that's not Stage Man.
Instead of the trunk, there's a big pouch. But I mean, if this helps you understand what we're talking about here.
Well, there's just no encumbrance whatsoever in a pair of Stage Mans. Like everything, doesn't matter if you have a big dick or a small dick, it's all just available to you.
And it's about ball contact. There's no leg ball contact is what is the key, I think.
Yes.
It eliminates leg ball contact.
That's huge.
Huh.
That's huge.
It's all non-consensual. I never asked my balls to touch
Listen, ball and thigh contact is definitely non-consensual, because if anyone asked me, I would stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no means no.
Yeah,
absolutely, stop it.
Well, I'm anxious to get things
so
straightened out.
Go ahead, and you guys trust me, Stage Man underwear is the best underwear you will ever
Unless
have.
you got a badge.
Order it now at stageman.com and use promo code Andy. It will get you 0% off. We are not sponsored by Stage Man in any way, but we should be, because we are avid users.
Women can use them too, but you got to put like corn on the cob in front of your vag.
No, you can put your you can put your makeup down there.
Yeah, you can put anything you want down there.
Yeah.
Like it's autumn, so like Indian corn would be.
Look, let's say it's cold where you are, and then you're like ooh. You can just stick your hand down your pants, right into the fucking pouch, warm them up, lots of room. Girls will love Stage Mans.
Built-in hand warmers.
Absolutely.
The first time I wore them and showed Jenny, I thought maybe she might be impressed, because I don't know. I fill them out pretty good. They look good. You know, I like them. A lot of ball pushes the wiener forward. It's a good system. It's the
push-up bra of underwear.
Yes. And so she laughed at me, and that wasn't what I was looking for at all. But then she told me that I wasn't allowed to wear those when the kids were visiting. So I thought maybe, all right, that's positive, I guess. I guess it looks pretty good. If I can't wear them when the kids are here, right.
Impressive.
With my sweatpants.
Look, I know Jenny, and I'm not trying to dive too deeply into your personal life, but I think she was just probably like overwhelmed. I think the laughter was probably just overwhelmed.
Maybe she doesn't want the kids around because of how she reacts to them.
That's what I mean. I think she thought it was too sexy, and she didn't know what to do.
Well, I like that story better.
Yeah.
I mean, I was there and she laughed. We've been married 23 years. I know what's happening, but
I've heard her laugh. So I think she was probably overwhelmed. Get your Stage Mans today. Stageman.com. Tell them Andy sent you. See how that works out.
If that works for anything.
Yeah.
I've had stage fright, but never Stage Mans.
Nice. Look at that.
Oh, wow. A lighter?
We really are doing more work for these people than we should.
Well,
I thought we were just killing time.
yeah, they get, if they, this all bleeds into my, to my recommendation. So,
Let's start there. Let's go.
well, everybody's probably already seen it, but I'm 3 episodes in, and it's a deep dive into the psyche of Jeffrey Dahmer on Netflix.
Yep.
He's a monster, did a lot of monstrous things, and they made him all handsome and kind of sexy. He sort of sounds like Johnny Depp. So it's like, what if I was slightly kind of into Jeffrey Dahmer and appreciated him for who he was? I mean, not me, but that's what they're. Anyway, it's, I guess, it's like a lot of Netflix shows where they mine it. It could be like 4 episodes and be really good, but it's like 8
they always go for
episodes.
6.
The dad in it, I had to look at because I kept going, who is the dad? It's kind of, it's not, I don't think it's meant to be funny, but the dad's in for an interrogation about the son's crimes. It's funny when they list all the things they found in the apartment, and the dad's just kind of, you realize anyway, I think Jeffrey Dahmer's dad did him a disservice by getting involved with stripping meat off of animals, and then but it's kind of, it's interesting, and I think it is probably sticks to fairly accurate to Jeffrey Dahmer's world. But the dad he played the dad in the movie Step Brothers. Remember that with Will Ferrell?
Guy, he's on the screen right now.
It's even funnier when that guy getting that, here, your son was found, he had a bag of penises or whatever. It didn't, when they finally searched his apartment there, was kind of a horror show, head in the fridge and such.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who the director of this is. I can't remember his name, but the point of it, which I think they might have thought they missed a little bit, because this show came to Netflix without much fanfare. It just dropped on Netflix without a big promotion, because it was meant to have a big promotion, because it's 10 episodes, I think 8 or 10 episodes. Carrie Mitchell has watched it and she enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
But the point of it from the director's standpoint was the director who made it is the guy who has made other things that celebrate the life of the victim. And the point was, and this is kind of the complaint, that it kind of didn't do that enough. But the point of what that guy does is that the people who are killed by a famous serial killer, their whole life ends up being only that. They can only ever be the person who got killed by, Jeffrey Dahmer or fucking Night Stalker or whoever it was. So like, this is like a chance to see who those people are and celebrate them in a way, and give them some sort of life, some sort of voice. So that was the idea going into the making of this Jeffrey Dahmer thing. Whether they pull that off or not, I mean, I haven't watched it, so, but that is, I read about this.
It's got some pretty steamy sex.
Between him and an Asian boy.
Yeah, it jumps around in years too a lot. So it doesn't. He's already busted in the first episode, and then it goes back to young. I was, sitting watching Jeffrey Dahmer's childhood and going, really, the only difference there, there's a few differences, but he chugged beers, and there's similarities where I'm like, Jeffrey's a regular fella. He's trying to be a show off at school, drinking beers, doesn't really fit in, whatever. And, but I never stripped the meat off my guinea pigs when they died. I just put them in the garbage can.
It's a fine line.
Yeah. I mean, if my dad would have gone, if dad would have.
Well, there's plenty of taxidermists who don't become Jeffrey Dahmer disciples. So
yeah, I think they kind of alluded to his mom. Yeah, there's really,
Are there though, Chaille? I mean, aren't possibly all taxidermists probably serial killers? I mean, let's be honest. Let's look into it.
I
because
think they have a love of nature and
a love of skinning something and stretching its skin out over a weird
preserving it for. I mean, I was in Washington D.C. looking at specimens that were captured and then taxidermied in the 1800s. Lives
Okay.
forever.
Good
thing.
enough.
You could still have Rooney around.
He's right here
and,
behind me.
and a lamp.
He lights up.
All right, so yours is Monster Dahmer.
Yeah, the Dahmer
Netflix
drama. It's kind of a drama with cannibalism. I mean, it's really
Harry Mitchell likes
slow.
it very much.
Yeah.
Andy.
I heard there's a pretty gross, or there's a payoff episode.
You're only 3 episodes in.
Yeah,
She watched the whole thing. She liked it very much.
he's still
10
just
too much.
So that's a
nervous.
Carrie Mitchell approval.
Well, I know she's into murder porn, so
Well, listen,
I
we
would
love it.
turn to her for that.
There's no
Yeah.
way it needed to be 10 episodes. No way.
There's already 400 Dahmer things out.
I know.
This is a third Dahmer thing Andy's recommended since
He's
we
the
started
most-
the recommendation.
He's the most. This is the most handsome casting of
Where
Dahmer.
Andy does this rate on all of your Dahmer recommendations? Is this the
I
best
give it-
Dahmer?
I give it 3 bite marks. I know he's kind of my favorite, I guess. I mean, it's a bummer about his victims and everything, but I like this.
Yeah, he was good at it for sure.
He drank his
Listen.
beers.
I mean, listen, Ted Bundy got all the fucking press because he was handsome and he drove a Volkswagen
And
Bug.
he killed.
But he basically like hit girls over the head with a club. Like that's, come on, dude. This guy,
That's what you broke into the sorority house to do. Come
right?
on, bro.
Come on, man.
Come
This
on,
guy-
man. Even frat guys are going, look, man.
Right. Come on, man.
No finesse.
Yeah. At least put it behind the dumpster for their brother.
I mean,
Yeah. The Bundy was a,
Dahmer was drilling into their brains with a fucking cordless
he,
drill and a
he-
drill bit.
he
Like
just-
the Asian kid that got away had already been drilled into his brain. He ran
What?
out of the house. Yes.
Mhm. Oh,
And-
yeah.
and- And the cops, when they caught the guy, returned him to Jeffrey Dahmer.
Mhm.
And they thought that he was just drunk. And they thought that he was just a drunk 14-year-old with a weird older boyfriend. And they didn't
With a
want to
hole in his head.
call-
Yeah, they didn't even get close.
They just ignored that part.
They just
Yeah.
they said that's fine. But the reason he
Acting.
was acting drunk was because a hole was in his skull.
It's a weird
Dahmer had
fucking story
drilled-
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I complain about what happened to me as a kid, but my photo shoots didn't end that way. I got paid my money and a ride to the airport,
Yeah.
My
And you're
feller,
wearing a tracksuit right now. You got a.
I know I'm over the stigma because I used to get paid. I used to get this would be like represent I was a filthy whore, but now I can wear it knowing I was a filthy whore, and I couldn't help it.
That bumper sticker that I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal
Frontal
lobotomy
lobotomy?
makes sense, I guess. That's where it
Yeah.
came from.
And let me just say also this, Andy, your lighting is incredible right now. You look great. That's with the tracksuit and this, whatever's
Yeah,
happening right now.
it's flashing behind you. And it's
Yeah.
the first time you've not looked like Kilroy.
Well,
Yeah, you're not down below where the camera is.
I got rid of the high shit. Yeah, I thought it was too high the last few times, but I didn't straighten it out till today. And I put
But you were too high, or the
I was
the
too
equipment was
high.
too high.
Both.
Well, I had a Pepsi crate thing, and it sets too high. Now I got
Oh no,
a
you were
book
still
about.
doing it all episode. It's just you're not doing it now.
Yeah, only right now are you in
Oh.
frame.
Well,
You lean
that's-
forward when you talk.
yeah, but
You
and
get to about
also
right here,
I'm
and
home
then you
alone.
make a point.
I'm home alone, so I can say shitty stuff, and I'm not even saying shitty stuff. But if I wanted to, I could talk about anything. Cannibalism, pro, up with eating people.
Eat 'em.
Yeah, Yeah, so I also went with 2 books instead of the crate, and I
Good
think
for
it's
you.
a better height for my
All right.
setup, you know.
Well,
Okay,
the lights
so,
flashing
yeah.
on your picture frames and your tracksuit and it does look really cool.
And
I
it's
agree
yeah,
with that.
and look at how handsome Jeffrey Dahmer. You know, it's like, could you make Jeffrey Dahmer any?
I saw the same infatuation with the, like, they made him hot or whatever. But I think it's one of those things where it's just the way social media is now, where you can just make anything look like it if you want it to. Like, one gay person said, "Hey, Jeffrey Dahmer looks kind of hot," and then somebody screenshot that and retweeted it, and then they're like, "Oh, this is exploitive. They're making Jeffrey Dahmer look hot." One person thought that. That's
Well,
the only,
but-
like, I've
Well,
only
don't you
seen-
also think there's a producer that was like, we have to make Jeffrey Dahmer look hot?
Well, that may
way
be
behind the
but what
scenes
I'm
before
saying,
that?
Chad, is that I don't even think that he does look hot. I mean, what do I know?
Well, the show
I'm
also.
casting
Andy
Martha
thinks he
Stewart
looks
as
hot.
the
No,
Golden
I'm just
Girls.
saying
Mike,
that's
Mike
what do I
Looking Land
know?
wasn't getting any callballbacks. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I'm
if
just
you
saying-
if you watch it, he's like, you know, they really emphasize how he's lifting weights and stuff, and he's
Oh, really?
shirtless, and you know, lingering shots of him. You know, they know they're playing to you know,
Yep.
slightly queer America.
So they did do that.
Yeah.
So what'd you think about it?
It's kind
Of course they
sexy.
did.
He's hotter-
Right
yeah.
before we started the show, we were all waiting for Chaille to turn the Zoom link on. And Chad, I was like, "Hey, are we doing this?" And Chad was like, "I'm here." And I was like, "Me too." And then Andy messaged us, "Me top," which he meant to type "me too," but he typed "me top." And
Hashtag
we were
me
all-
top.
and then Chad and I were like, "You're not a top."
Yeah.
I knew I had seconds to get back on that and fix it, but
We were all scrambling.
there was two comments before I could correct it.
No way, bro.
Me top.
Same thing, basically.
Who's next?
right.
I'll go. It's mine is a different one and probably for a very specific audience, but mine is for my fellow audiobook users, listeners, and it's not without selfish intent, which I'll explain. But there is an app that you can download called Libby. Then if you have a
Libby?
local library, Libby, Libby,
Libby. All right.
Libby, and then you go to your local library and get a library card, you can get access to shitloads of audiobooks for free at your libraries. And the reason I wanted to bring it up as well is to share it with people that could, you know, check out free audiobooks instead of paying for them on Audible all the time. And also, if you don't use a library card and can get one, send me the number, because then I'll have access to your library's audiobook collection. So that's the
So you can do this
part of it.
online?
Yeah.
It's like
The Cochise
Napster
County
for
Library, Chaille, has almost 3,000 audiobooks in the library to choose from.
Wow.
And a lot of them, you have to put them on hold because people, you know, get in the list to do them. But if you're not in a hurry, I've already listened to 2, just that I would have had to pay for it with a credit or money
Yeah.
on Audible. So that's my recommendation.
That's
Is there a
solid.
book? Is there a
In your
book about
local
Dahmer
library.
in there? It's probably
I
a
bet
book.
you there is some Dahmer
Yeah.
books in there.
Dahmer's
Right on.
cookbook.
That's very cool. I'm trying to think of the Libby's commercials. You guys remember those?
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's canned food.
Yeah. Libby's.
I'm still trying to figure out with a name like Smuckers, it's got to be good. No, I never got that. I'm like, huh.
You didn't accept the premise?
Yeah,
Like,
like,
wait
if
a
there was a
minute, I don't
kid
think
with
it
the last
does.
name Smucker that went to school, he would have been
He's
bullied.
an asshole. I don't
Yeah.
think.
Hey,
it has to
Smucker,
be
get
at
over
all.
here. Oh, this is gonna be good.
I remember the Libby's thing. You'll like it,
Yeah.
like it on your label. I
Libby,
knew.
What
Libby,
is-
Libby on the label.
And Libby's is just like pie filler, or did they have
It was
juice?
juice.
I don't
too.
remember what it was. I just remember the commercial.
I remember like corn and
Juice.
stuff.
Mm.
The juice?
It's fucking
No, they
poison.
had corn.
All right,
Yeah,
I go next.
vegetables, juice, all kinds
Yeah.
of canned goods.
So I know how much you guys love soccer. I know how much you guys love it.
Can't
I
get
know how
enough.
much you guys love having it explained to you. Another thing you guys really enjoy. But if you enjoy both of those things as much as I do, you should watch Welcome to Wrexham.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I thought about that.
I have seen.
I've
that.
been waiting to pitch this because I've been watching it the whole time, but I wanted to wait till they got a few episodes in. But
Make sure
Rob
it's-
McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds' show on Hulu, Welcome to Wrexham, is really great. And I think what I really like about it is that I like the way they explain to Rob McElhenney mostly about
Rob is the guy from Always
It's
Sunny
Always
in
Sunny.
Philadelphia.
They explained to him what relegation was, which in sports, if you're in America, you don't understand. Because in America, if you're terrible at sports, you get the best draft pick. But in England or any other country, if you're terrible at sports, you get kicked out of the league, which is a different outcome. And it makes for an interesting story, because it turns out this team, Wrexham, was a great team. I didn't know any of this backstory on this club, but they were a great team for many years. And they just, through a lot of bad decisions, ended up in the 5th tier, which is one tier below, basically. I mean, they're still professional soccer players. They're still getting paid, but they're not in English. They're not in the FA, the Football Association of England, which is 4 tiers high. So they're one tier below. And when you get stuck down there, you're stuck and you're fucked. So Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney decided to buy this team and see if they could get them to make it up in relegation to League 2, which would be the 4th tier. And
Okay.
I haven't even made it all the way through. I don't even know if it's all the way through yet. I'm still only a couple episodes in, but it's fucking great. I love it. And it does a great job of explaining soccer to the uninformed, not, the American fan who doesn't understand how relegation works. That's the best part about it to me. That's my favorite part about when I became a soccer fan. What I liked most about soccer was the fact that the biggest battles at the end of the season were amongst the bottom teams, which isn't a thing in American sports. In American sports, if you're one of the bottom teams, you fight for the bottom because you want the first pick. And in all of the other countries in soccer, if you're at the bottom, you're fucked. You're kicked out
Or
of
you're
the
done
league.
early. Your season's in America.
You're-
Your season's over, but you're on vacation while the playoffs are happening.
Well,
But they're
right.
fighting in soccer because they don't want to be the fucking bottom three.
And now if you make it like the Chicago Cubs, for instance, the Chicago Cubs, if the Chicago Cubs had existed in England, they would have never won the World Series in 2016 because they would have been in single A ball. They would have been relegated down so many tiers below the majors. They would have never sniffed the World Series again because they were terrible. And being terrible is not rewarded in soccer. It's punished. And this team Wrexham has been punished over and over and over again. And then these two guys bought it and they thought they could see it. And like if you do watch, what I thought was great was in the first fucking episode, they just bought the team. There was a moment where they were playing for the chance in the season they bought them to maybe make the playoffs, a little short playoffs thing to make it to get up to level 4. And they brought in a guy who had been like an old guy on the team. They brought him in the second half, and immediately he fucking fouled a guy in a way that was like, oh shit. He came over the ball with his cleats and he fucking hit a guy in the shins with his cleats. Like, it was a terrible, terrible tackle, as they call them. And he was immediately red carded. And now Wrexham's playing a man down. And now, of course, they're not going to make it. They're not going to win. Like, they got relegated, or not relegated. They didn't make it into the playoffs. They didn't make it. And they stayed where they were. And this fucking poor bastard got cut from the team and he was gone. And he's basically probably out of professional sports forever. And you watched it happen. Like, that's real. I thought that was incredible because that dude was in tears at the end of it. It was a real moment. Like, that's how it fucking goes down. These guys are basically one level above pub level players. You know, like, they're just making it. They're just single A.
It sounds like
players.
Bull Durham. Is there any hot chicks?
Yeah. I mean, well, it's the Bull Durham of soccer. So thank you.
The show is good. I do enjoy the one show I watch, but hearing you explain it is like someone explaining their dream. It's just it's a little dry, but it is interesting.
What do they call it?
First, I loved the fucking Nick Cage movie, which is great. Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. And Chaille was like, worst movie I ever saw. Then I explained, Welcome to Wrexham.
Not worst movie I ever saw. Probably worst.
Like it's like someone explaining taxes. Thanks, Brett.
I'm saying, don't let Brett's long explanation about a sport you know nothing about thwart you from giving it a try. I'm saying, welcome to Wrexham. I prefaced it with that.
You want to watch the Dahmer thing because it's got good recipes.
It's actually a more exciting thing. Watch the Dahmer thing.
That's exactly what I said.
Oh,
Wrexham. Yeah.
That's fucking.
You know what? And you know what else? Dahmer, he really wrecks them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used that excuse about leaving the fridge unplugged too many times.
That's what he said when he would insert things into his victims. Welcome to Wrexham.
You talk about fucking him. I wrecked him.
Yeah, I damn near killed him.
All right, so I guess
Thank you,
I guess you're waiting
right.
to see what I've got.
Yep, I am.
So I can't wait.
I started watching like at night I take a little weed usually, and then I'll watch something, but I can't get into it. I have to, if I'm watching an old time movie or something like that, or it's just I'm gonna draw into it. I'm gonna stay up too late. So now I got into this guy Danny's Aquariums, where he basically has classical music going, no crazy like volume spikes or anything that's gonna wake you up. And it's just like 3 hours long of him like adding chorals, and it's so very boring. But there's classical music going on, and it's beautiful.
It's like soccer, huh?
You had the balls to tell me that my explanation of Wrexham was too long. 3 hours.
It was boring, like someone telling you their dream.
I'm gonna giggle cry tonight.
Oh shit! Danny's Aquarium, man, 2 thumbs up. It's great.
Any of you
when I'm not going to sleep.
watch Danny's
Is that on
Aquarium
YouTube?
instead of Welcome to Wrexham?
I would watch Welcome to Wrexham when I'm up and watching TV. Danny's Aquarium is nice to relax to. And
Yeah,
then you put
Jeffrey,
the TV on auto off, and you're fine.
All right,
Jeffrey
that's fair
Dahmer,
enough. Fair enough.
you want to watch in
Fair
the
enough.
afternoon, I think. I
That'd
don't
be
know.
good.
I'd like to dream about being like, hanging out or whatever. So I might watch another episode tonight.
Yeah, you
I
can
got-
do
I
whatever, right?
I got no beef with Jeffrey Dahmer, and I can do whatever I want around here. I can smoke pot indoors.
Wait, Andy, he's not a good
free
guy.
right
You know
now,
that, right?
Oh yeah, he was not LGBTQ friendly. I'll tell you that. He
was
may have
racist,
seemed like
yeah.
it. He seemed like one of the guys.
At first he was.
Yeah. I be leery of $50 photo gigs. Even even if you get paid early, they can still remove the money from your dead
If it
pants.
seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah,
He was paying $50, or you were getting $50, Andy?
I was getting 100
Oh,
plus travel,
so you got to
But I
put
didn't-
him too.
but I got released. You know,
Yeah.
he could only go so far. Dahmer was like, you know, you're staying here, fella. You ain't going nowhere. I'd be in some crawl space in a condo in Menlo Park, California.
One of those stew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, this podcast would be worse. I'm glad you're not in a crawl space in Menlo Park, California.
I'm
That
glad
did
you're
it.
part
Guys,
of
for
our
being out
stew.
there, and thank you for being part of what we do here on Issues with Andy. Number 185. Can you believe we've done 185 of these? I'm so happy about that. Every one of them has been one of my favorite times of my life. Like every week doing this is the happiest I am. So I hope that you guys like it too. So tell your friends about it, and help us get some more YouTube followers. Also, we're on Patreon, just $5 a month to join our Patreon. We do this, and we do interviews with semi-famous comedians. I mean, we have sometimes famous comedians,
I
but
have friends,
karate
Right.
lessons.
people we know,
yeah,
people that know us.
you hear
Uh-huh.
them. You hear them
Yeah.
say it. And so just
and Annie Letterman.
famous. She's actually famous. And we'll do that. That's coming up for sure. Annie loves us, so that's one we can actually book. So join us on Patreon. We would love that if you did that. And we love you. So thank you for being out there. Thank you for letting us do this every week. We love you. We'll see you next time. Later.